less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor, and Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Time Magazine named Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes one of the world's most influential people of 2024. The three-time Super Bowl champion telling the magazine he's had at least one of the top 3 starts to a career, but is, quote, nowhere near GOAT status yet. He added, you have to build a consistency of a career. That's something I'll talk about when I'm done playing. Then people can make those decisions. The Commanders, who have the 2nd overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft, brought in quarterbacks Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and J.J. McCarthy for visits Tuesday, while the Patriots, with the 3rd overall pick, hosted quarterback Michael Penix Jr. The draft begins on Thursday, April 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Dolphins general manager Chris Greer says the team plans on picking up the 5th-year options for wide receiver Jalen Waddle and linebacker Jalen Phillips before the May 2nd deadline. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is crossover dribble. Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane.
One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover. Double crossover. Crossover continues to evolve.
The crossover is powered by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that Harry Carey could be announcing in this day and age.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
What clip his surface?
Baseball's greatest moments. It's the Cubs against the Expos, and there's a foul ball that is out of the reach of Mark Grace in foul territory. And Harry Carey is telling this story about the library is the number one place to go to meet women.
Nice.
So then Steve Stone chimes in. He says, yeah, on our off days, Arnie Harris and I, we go to libraries to try and find single women in Chicago. And Arnie Harris, who was the director of the WGN broadcast, immediately goes to this woman in the stands. Harry probably would have been canceled a long time ago. Like, you can't say, how did the guy who is from Mexico lose a pop-up in the sun?
Yeah.
Harry Carey handshake Brett Musburger.
There was exactly. There was where the couple, the one would kiss for every strike and then the other would kiss the other person for every ball thrown. So he said,
what?
He kisses her on the strikes. She kisses him on the balls.
And I don't know if
it's true.
He didn't do that intentionally.
Yeah,
it might have been he's just explaining.
Yeah, I think he probably was, but it was the best Harry moment. And of course, it was late in the game, and who knows what Harry had going on.
I can't wait if that's the case, I can't wait till our new Midtown 72nd Dodge Library opens up. That's going to be a hot spot.
Yeah. So is today or yesterday was like National Library Day?
Oh, good question.
Last time any of us in this room have been in a library.
Oh,
well,
boy.
I've actually seen Josh Otson in the library.
Yeah. Earlier this week,
Yeah.
I've been to the library.
With our
For your well, you get kids.
yeah.
So you go and check out
kids
books
to the library?
For me personally, no.
now.
It's been a while.
It is. Doesn't 72nd and Dodge seem like an odd place to have a public library? But it's right there on the corner, and it looks like it's going to be really cool.
It's
That's the
centrally
focal
located.
point of our city.
Deuce space.
Yeah, it's overtaking due space. It's got a lot to live up to.
Today, by the way, is National Banana Day, National Crawfish Day, and National Cheese Ball Day.
Okay.
So if you could find a way to include all of those things in your diet today, then you'd be following the national calendar.
But back to the library. So I think that was yesterday. I think National Library Day was yesterday. So shout out to
Let's see.
librarians.
Yeah.
I do miss the Clark Library downtown because my one and only time I went there because I wanted to read. Okay, here's the nerd in me. They used to get the Kansas City Star Sunday paper, and they had their baseball preview section, and I wanted to go read it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So I went there,
That's all
but I
facts.
had to maneuver around the crackheads that would sit on the steps of that library.
Sure.
And then once I went inside, it was a CF. Like it was a third world country. And I'm like, how does anybody work here? And I feel for the security guard because it was just anarchy.
Really?
Oh, like people like, nobody had taken a shower. It was basically, okay, you need to go find a job today and you can't be staying here after you've slept here overnight. So where do we go? We went to the public library in downtown Omaha. But there were literally people asking if I had drugs as I was walking up the steps. And there's a crackhead laying right there. And the only reason I knew it, because there was a pipe. And I'm like, wow, this is great.
You should say, no, I don't have drugs. All I have is books.
So I finally got up to the newspaper section. I'm looking at the Kansas City Star. And there's a guy like 3 tables over is like just ready to do weed.
I'm high on
I'm like,
novels.
Do we?
Wow.
Nice.
So I wonder about the people that got, evicted from the library, where they went
They'll
when
have
they
to all go to 72nd
tore the
and
library
Dodge.
down.
Well, there is a new downtown library.
But it's like a hole in the wall, right?
Yes,
which probably makes it even
it's
better.
a little less of a palace.
But did you guys ever go to the main library?
No.
It was a zoo.
When I was younger, I did.
One time I went to that downtown branch.
I've only been to the library, like the public library, like I think one time in my life. And it was the one at 90th and Ford or whatever.
That's the new deuce space.
That's
the new
deuce
space.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went there and I got it was like an activity we did one day during the summer.
What are you talking about? The bar of the library?
We all got like certifications.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's a good place.
It was like for CPR and stuff like that. I imagine that's since expired.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was once certified too. Not through the library. But.
I guess you could do it at the
I
library.
think you have to have a lot of patience as a librarian these days.
Oh,
I'd
You deal
imagine
with
so,
a
Yeah.
lot of different people.
Well, and now I've noticed in Josh, the place that our kids have gone, I've noticed as a librarian, you also have to be multifaceted and being able to have story time with the kids. So you got to be kind of an entertainer as well.
Yeah.
At least it goes a long way.
A little bit of a showman.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have some flair.
So both of you guys actually have a library card?
I do.
Yeah.
It's not on me, but I do. Got a keychain, actually.
When I was a kid, that was a status symbol
Oh, yeah.
from the Urbandale Public Library, which they
Yep,
also
yep,
tore down and
yep.
moved.
That's
There
the
we go.
one.
Oh, look at that.
That's my library
Oh, it
card.
doesn't have your picture on it or anything.
No.
Sad.
That's yesterday's news. Now they just make it easy.
I don't
They're
want-
very trusting.
They want people to go there.
Yeah.
So
But
they
can't
try
you
and
do the
make it easy.
library online? Isn't everything online now?
Yeah,
Like you want to rent books or
They got a great app. You can hold everything,
Yep.
and I literally just set everything on hold. They
Mhm.
set it aside for me. I walk in and I'm in the library for like 8 seconds.
Oh,
Yep.
you do drive-in pickup library?
Yep. And they
Yeah,
got the drop box where you can drop off your
Josh
books
is
too.
part of the problem.
I'll walk in. I'm not a monster. I'll pick it up myself.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But you set it aside for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to go looking for it. I
Yeah.
don't know the Dewey Decimal System.
Do they still do that? Do they still have them ordered by the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Because like in elementary school, we had library class where they would tell you all of those things. That is knowledge that I just simply do not have anymore. I have not retained.
Oh yeah,
and I haven't bothered to.
It is since
it.
I remember it, but it is since lost as far as how to execute that.
How I would approach it is just, if I wanted a book that was about a murder book or something like that, I would just go to any random section and then see if anything in there resembles murder.
Yeah, look like if I'm in the right section. Like, well, they did this in Blockbuster. It's got to be the same in library, right?
O.J. Simpson? Oh, I think I'm in the right spot.
Wayne says you can go to UNO and get a degree in being a librarian.
Wow. Okay. Library degree.
Well, he said it is officially library science education.
Okay. That seems like it has many applications.
Yeah.
In today's society.
If you get a degree to be a librarian, what do you
grow
make?
up wanting to be a librarian?
I don't know.
I mean, you're a city employee. Like, I
guess if you
times are tough at the library now, but you're a city employee.
Yeah.
Like, you get the holidays off. You get
the pension.
You're not working late at night.
You get that pension.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have a real passion for books.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a librarian or a bus driver?
Bus driver.
I always wanted to be a bus driver.
No, I've never wanted to be a bus driver. I saw Speed.
You never wanted to be a bus driver?
No.
As a kid?
No.
You weren't
that bus driver got shot.
Yeah, he did. He survived, but it was a miracle.
Yeah.
No, that's.
I wanted to be a bus driver.
I don't have confidence in my ability to handle that big of a
I think in movies, bus drivers get a bad rap.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I mean, they're either hollering at kids.
It pretty much follows close to what it is.
It's not far off.
Yeah.
So you guys had a Chris Farley type bus driver when you were little?
I mean,
or the one that's making fun of Forrest?
I think they had the shape of Chris Farley, and they would have some quips every now and again.
Wait a minute. I think the bus driver, she was okay to Forrest. She was just grumpy in general. And then remember, Forrest put a smile on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a heart. Don't do Forrest's bus driver that way. Now, Chris Farley, he had a little rage. Yeah.
That is
the rage.
Wait a minute.
Pull question up at Happer Show. Would you rather be a bus driver or a librarian?
Bus drivers, like even in TV shows, you don't ever see like a happy bus driver. They're always angry or telling people to sit down.
Well, have you ever seen a happy bus driver in real life?
The bus driver for like our sporting events when I was in high school, he was a happy guy. He had been doing it for years and years.
Well, that's the dream.
I think they really enjoy it.
That's like being the president of bus driving. Like that's the best job you can have. You charter around a team.
Is there a union?
They're all going to be in good order. Like you're not going to have to yell at them for doing anything in the back. Like, and then you get to go to sporting events for free. They just walk in.
Although if they lose and you're driving them home and it's really tense in there, that's got to be uncomfortable for the bus
just
driver.
Quiet. It's
even quiet. It is quiet, but you probably are feeling some of that tension.
Okay, so they're always looking for bus drivers, like the public schools. I would be deathly afraid though, because I would like leave a kid on the bus, or drop them off at the wrong place, or God forbid something happens. Like someone when you put out the stop sign, they're like, and they whip around you.
Yeah, you do have to trust other people.
But I want to be a metro bus driver.
Really?
I want to drive up and down Dodge Street.
What about the Orbit?
That's what I want to do.
Okay.
You don't have to think
not
much.
You don't have.
I just want to drive. I just want to drive a big bus.
So I automatically hate you.
The good news is the Orbit, you won't have a lot of passengers, so you're good.
That's also true.
You don't have to deal with a lot of people.
If you can drive a bus, can you drive a streetcar?
It's got to be a different skill set, right?
I would think so.
Streetcars on like the tracks, right?
Yeah.
Your average Joe Blow just can't get into a streetcar, Gary.
No, I think
Come
they
on.
can actually.
No.
I bet
How
I
much
could
driving
drive
do you do of a streetcar?
I could drive a streetcar. I could. What's so hard about that?
You know what? I'm thinking you can. Because you're on tracks.
Yeah.
And basically, some places it's computerized.
Yeah.
Where you just got to make sure you don't have something.
With subway drivers, or train drivers. What are they doing?
You're pushing it forward.
But they're not steering.
It's like you have
steering. They're more conductors.
Or you're
than
hitting
they are.
you're hitting the brakes.
I don't even really call them a driver. They're a conductor, right? At some point, you go from driver to conductor.
Oh, what is that point?
I feel like a conductor is where you're doing very little. You're manning an unoccupied space to make sure all hell isn't breaking loose.
There's so many train guys listening right now. No, it's more complicated to be a conductor than a driver.
You guys are a bunch of idiots.
So in 2 years, when we get the streetcar, do you think they'll have like open positions?
Tryouts?
Yeah, I mean it's going to create jobs.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the whole point of the street.
Yes.
They used to with media. They used to have like a bus derby. where they let you come and drive a city bus.
What a terrible idea. I love it.
know.
No, you would have like, you weave in and out of cones and stuff and make the turn.
They were cones.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, they would have competition between.
We should have like a spelling bee, like a citywide competition of who's the best driver. I would enter myself into that.
So you get to the size of the vehicle, like anything bigger than like an F-150,
So here-
I'm really scared to drive because I don't think I could control it.
I get the feeling that we're not all in on the streetcar, but I think we might change our opinion if they give us like an opportunity to go drive a
Media day?
streetcar. Yeah, media day driving a streetcar.
It would really help with the media narrative that this is unnecessary. I might change my tune.
We need media day. Let's do it. I love it. It's a great idea.
Let's see.
What could go wrong? Really? What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it's in the track.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
like I'm going
guiding
to
you.
jump out of the track.
And if you did, that's impressive.
Oh, I'm afraid to look at the Equitable Bank inbox because Train Guy is now just going off.
Yep.
Well, somebody just told me to check out JUCO Bus Driver on Twitter.
At JUCO Bus Driver?
Yeah, they haven't
Hello.
tweeted in a couple of years.
This is my wheelhouse.
Is this something happened to him?
There's not much going on recently. It seems that this Twitter account might have died.
Oh no.
But
Oh.
that's might be a little shenanigans on that bus.
Joel says the bus
Knowing
driver
JUCO
in
baseball.
Mrs. Doubtfire was pretty friendly.
Maybe a little too friendly.
There was a
remember?
bus driver and Mr.
Yeah,
Mrs.
he was looking for love. He was hitting on Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was an older fellow.
Yeah, he was an older guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe his wife had passed.
The bus driver on Superbad had to kick everybody off the bus. Give me the booze.
Oh yeah.
It was you.
I forgot about
McMuffin.
that. Give me the booze.
Give me the booze.
I forgot about that guy. You know what? No,
They had
I
to
think,
kick everybody off.
I think-
Everybody off the bus.
I think he was following protocol. I think he was actually a good
was.
bus driver.
He was keeping everything in order,
Yeah,
but he had
because-
to deal with the riffraff.
He did. Yep. See, that's why I wouldn't want to be a public bus driver because you'd have to deal with the town wino and McMuffin. I don't wanna do that.
McMuffin.
Give me the booze.
Give me the booze.
You ain't got your cops to protect you now. Oh God, I love Superbad.
Yeah.
That's a good poll though as far as a bus driver.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we should do a bracket. That's our next bracket.
Ooh, best bus driver.
Best
bracket.
bus drivers. I think Chris Farley's a 1 seed, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Annie
Uh,
Porter's probably a 2, right?
Who?
Annie.
On what?
What is speed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy B.
Yeah, but she wasn't the bus driver.
What was his name?
She just
oh,
drove
yeah,
the
she
bus.
No, but she ended up driving it.
She
Wow.
drove the hell out
Wildcat.
of that bus.
Wildcat.
He can see you.
You can see you.
They'll see.
Otto from The Simpsons.
Oh, good one. Yeah, he was fun. He was just a stoner.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if there's
music loud.
I wonder if there's a list.
see, I want to say the bus driver in Speed was Ortiz, but that was the construction worker, right?
Memorable
Right.
bus
Hey,
drivers.
Gigantor. Yeah.
Memorable bus drivers from movies and television. Megabus, their website did a list.
Oh, nice. Have you guys ever taken a megabus?
They would know.
No, no.
I thought about it. Just we were doing a radio bit because it used to leave right here from 72nd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, in the Crossroads parking lot.
we're just going to go from here to Chicago, and hopefully to get in early was just cost $1.
So
and then relay stories of who you met on the megabus.
Yeah.
So I mean, that'd be good for content. But that's like an 8-hour drive that turns into what 12 probably.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
stop in
definitely.
like small town Iowa.
I've got
See,
I've got a buddy who
that's not good.
that's the only way he traveled was megabus.
It's the same thing with the train.
I've done the train
and,
once.
and the train isn't even cheaper than a plane anymore.
Yeah, I did the train from Omaha to Chicago a long time ago, and I think it did take about.
Have you guys ever looked into
probably about 10 hours?
Have you looked into like taking a train to Denver, taking the Amtrak
Yes.
to Denver? It's horribly expensive.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
is
it takes so much more time
Yeah.
than
I don't need
either driving or taking a plane.
Sam was the original bus driver.
Sam,
on
that's
Speed.
right. Yep, there you go. It was Sam.
Annie Porter did
Sam!
indeed make this list on megabus.com.
Sam from Speed did?
Yeah,
Good, he
Sandy Sandra
Oh,
Bullock did.
okay, she did.
So megabus, like shortly they got out of Omaha and they like shut down for a bit. They're back. I don't think they're back in Omaha, but you'd always see the
yeah.
bus that would be parked right by that old parking garage right down here
Yep.
by Target.
Yep.
Have anybody ever taken a Greyhound somewhere?
I've never Greyhounded it. No, I've seen planes, trains, and automobiles.
I to go visit a aunt. I was put on a Greyhound bus as a 14-year-old.
By yourself?
Yeah. Now the trip was from Des Moines to Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It was quite the experience, though.
What'd you see?
Wasn't who I saw. It's who talked to me.
Oh, who talked to you?
Everyone.
I think a predator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was.
And you're stuck on that bus too.
I shouldn't
Yeah,
laugh.
There's
and
no
then-
escaping.
I shouldn't laugh. That's a real
People
problem.
are taking off their shoes. They smell.
Yeah.
They want to play their music. They want to talk to you.
It's their apartment. It's their home.
Yeah.
I even struggle with the shuttle buses from like the airport to the rental car
Yeah.
parking lot. People
Yeah.
are on there and they're saying something. It's like, don't talk to me.
Yeah. I have now
what are you
learned
doing?
that I will pay a little extra just to park in the garage.
Yes.
And just
But sometimes you got to take
grit and bear it.
you got to take the shuttle to the rental car
Yeah,
facility.
Thank God, by the way, Arizona has fixed that at Phoenix Airport.
Dude, the one from Cleveland to the rental car place is like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I felt that's how it was from the Phoenix Airport to their car rental city.
Ugh.
Denver isn't any shorter.
At least you get to
Never
take the
rented a
train,
car.
though.
Oh, actually, I have.
Oh, wait. Is it?
Did you take a
wait.
train on to Denver with Denver?
Can you take the train to Denver? Actually, I've never done a rental car in Denver, so I don't know.
I feel like I took the train there, but maybe
I thought I
it was
took a shuttle once, and it's so far away from the property.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, I've never done a rental car from Denver.
Now, if you're at Hartsfield, you've rented a car out of Atlanta. It is a maze to get to where
Yes,
the rental car is.
yes, but it's all walkable.
Yes.
Like, so you could just go there. I had a great experience renting a car in Atlanta. You just walk in. I had the thing already uploaded on my app, and they're like, I was like, hello, I'm here to get my car. And they're like, okay, take one of the cars. It took 4 seconds. It was amazing.
Now,
I was like, I could have been anybody.
Now, this is what I would like to do when I retire.
They're like, take it.
I would like to be the hotel shuttle driver.
Ooh, okay.
Either
That's
you're-
a little better.
That'd
Hey,
be fine.
So every time I see downtown the Marriott right across from the Chai,
Mhm.
the guys in there's like during the day it's like retired folk.
Yeah.
They're always happy. They're
Yep.
taking people to the airport. They're
You're
picking
gonna-
people up from the airport.
You got to really love what you do.
Tourists who are happy to be there.
Yes.
You're getting less transients on your
Yes.
shuttle.
That is true.
Mm. What about the OMA link? You guys ever taken the OMA link?
No.
No.
never have.
No.
I always see the guy at the airport when you come down the escalator and he's got the big OMA link shirt on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who are you waiting for?
Yep.
There's just one guy who's like, I'm taking the OMA link. Back
You
to
know
link.
who was
It's like, get a ride.
a 20 plus rider of the OMA Link?
Who's that?
The Bill Moose family.
Oh, that's right.
Every
forgot
time-
about
He took the OMA link?
Yeah, every time that he would fly
Well, the
to
county
his
took his
home in
keys.
Washington.
That he couldn't get a ride?
No, he didn't. He didn't drive up to Omaha. He took OMA Link.
Nobody came down and got him?
He got
No,
him
probably 'cause nobody knew who he was.
He reserved a time for OMA Link, the times they give you,
Yeah.
and he would be picked up, and he would get on OMA Link with
Now-
his wife, and then they would come to Omaha, fly out of Epley.
I got to talk to that
I know. I'd like to
driver.
drive. I'd like to talk to him too.
I got to talk to that driver.
I bet he revealed a lot. In fact, he could be in the book.
He
Seems
probably
chatty.
made the book.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He probably made the
Yep.
book.
That'd be amazing. Can we get him on?
The only experience I've had with OMA Link is when I was living in Lincoln, my luggage didn't make it, so OMA Link delivered it.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
had that
okay.
once too.
Yes.
I had that once too.
I have to knock on wood. It's not. I have not had any luggage snafus yet
In your life?
in my life.
In my
Really?
life.
Yeah, never
You're
have.
very lucky.
I know. I'm told that. I feel like everyone, if it hasn't happened to you at least once, it's probably happened twice.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
You'll have a situation.
Yeah.
Fremont Fred writes in.
Hi, Fred.
He says, who the hell still uses rental cars these days? Got to use Turo. Most will drop car right at gate. Turo.
Is that the Airbnb?
Is
for your
that where
car?
you can
I
rent
think
out
it's
your car?
Uber, but you just get the whole car.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you could rent out your car and
Yeah.
you could basically lend
Hold
it
on.
to people
There's
for the
something
weekend.
about that just
Whoa,
seems.
whoa, whoa.
Is that like the
So-
zip cars?
So
Is it
your
the same
own
thing?
personal vehicle you rent out?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what this one
If you want
is,
your
but
car
that
to
is
be
a thing.
used
Yeah,
on Turo.
It is. It's basically the Airbnb of your vehicle,
Let's see. Could I get a card that shows up for me today after the show?
which
That I
is
could-
funny that you would do that with your
Or like
home.
a car that is like halfway decent and not a
Yeah, Tesla Model 3. Let's see. I want this car to show up at 2:30 today. $64 a day to use the Tesla.
does it say like who owns it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Roger.
Anne.
Anne, how many stars does Anne have?
5. She's an
Okay.
all-star host.
Okay, good.
Ooh.
75 trips. Join May 2020.
Now we have Airbnb for cars.
Yep.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad price for a Tesla.
No, it's not.
64 a day.
4 day.
600 miles of distance
We
included.
got a 2018 Ford Fusion for $43 a day.
Ooh.
No, now we're
Courtesy
talking.
of Benjamin, 5 stars, all-star host. 383 trips taken with
All right.
Benjamin.
Whoa.
That's a lot of
So this
car
must be like a
rentals.
sidecar. Like this can't be his own personal vehicle.
Oh, I thought you meant they attach a sidecar and Benjamin's in it.
What if you wanted to like
Imagine you.
what if you had like a big business meeting and you wanted to get like a really nice car for the day? Could you go to Turo?
Well, does it give you options of like levels?
like
Like,
luxury?
in Uber, you can get an
Yeah.
Uber X.
Yeah, you could see
Yeah.
the kind of cars that you're going to get right here.
You get a Lux performance, an experience.
I think this is the type of meeting where I need a Subaru. Can I rent a Subaru? Yes. Subaru Legacy 2019, $67 a day.
Can you call Benjamin or whoever, say, there's something going on with the gear here. Maybe is there a trick to this? Is Benjamin at your disposal?
Do they wash it?
Can you text him?
This one's
Oh,
hosted
I mean, that's how you're getting the extra stars. Is it comes to you clean? It comes
Yeah.
to you, yeah.
fully gassed, washed up.
There might be a bottle of water waiting for you
Uh-huh.
in the cup holder.
That's where the 5 stars come from.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Giovanni's a 5-star host too.
Mm.
All-star,
I bet it goes by Geo.
111 trips.
Yeah.
So what happens to the driver then?
They just drop off your car and say
Yeah.
their buddy picks
Just-
them up and
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just go out and
They just leave?
yeah. Night on the town.
Yeah, that's
just wait.
That's a 2-man operation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Renting
true.
your car at Turo.
You
like,
have to have a side driver.
or do you have to go to their house to get the car?
mm.
They Uber you
I would
over to
not
the
do
house.
that.
Okay,
and-
car's sitting here in the driveway.
Yeah.
You got to come get
Yeah.
it.
It's like Facebook Marketplace. It's yours, but you got to pick it up. I ain't doing it.
Let's look at some of the comments on Turo.
Before you do,
AC doesn't work in vehicle.
Oh no, that's
hold on. So
1-star
Joel
deduction.
tweets at us.
Hi, Joel.
I won't yell at you guys, but as a former locomotive engineer, conductor is a different position.
Oh.
It doesn't take much skill to move a train, but to move and stop without knocking everyone over takes some skill.
Okay.
That's
I
fair.
mean, that makes sense.
Look
now
at him
that
in
I
this
think about
picture
it.
too.
Oh yeah.
That's
a boy, Joel.
Now that
Is he flipping us off?
is
Definitely.
Oh,
locomotive engineer.
Come on, Joel.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a hardy flip.
That's what I want my locomotive engineer to look like.
Joel is my people.
All right.
All right, let's see.
I like that he's smiling and flipping us the bird.
All right, let's see the comments on this Tesla.
Wasn't fully charged.
It is a very good
Ooh.
vehicle, and the host is very wonderful. Very good communication skills.
Use
A lot of
very
a lot
a
of
lot.
varies. That's good. That was just a week ago by
You think
Alejandro.
the owners or like a Geo or anyone else, if you smell anything in the trunk, just leave it be.
So can you
Just
make
don't
more
ask
money
questions.
with your car being an Uber or Turo?
It's a great
See, I don't
question.
know.
Well,
I did.
At
I,
least in Uber, you're still in control of your car.
I drove Uber for a little bit in Lincoln, and I did not make nearly enough money for what I had to do.
What time of the day were you driving?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Nighttime.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So were you surge pricing nighttime?
I don't know.
Like when the bars closed,
like
you were
yeah,
out?
concerts ended. Pick up kids from the bars, take them back home.
So that was your problem. You're picking up college kids.
I know. Yeah, they didn't tip me.
Did you get any? Did you get some good interaction?
Yeah, well, I'd ask them what they want to play on the on the radio.
Oh, good for
The
you.
music.
You want Billy Joel or Springsteen?
Yeah, I got 2 options for you. Sit down and shut up.
80s Joel.
Strictly 80s Joel.
Play something from the stranger.
Now I want to go to the lowest rated car that I could find on here.
And know what's wrong.
A lot of 5-star reviewers.
Where they
Wow.
went wrong.
I didn't know that Omaha was a big Turo town.
I feel like if you're going to go Turo, if you're going to go into that,
I mean, what this basically this
experience.
discussion is we have completely killed the taxi in this town.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
all
Yeah.
over the place except for New York City.
All right, I found it's like a unmarked white van, basically. Chevrolet Express 2015.
How much a day?
It's expensive, $190 a day.
it's a big van though.
Yeah, it's a big van. You can
Okay.
fit a lot of people in there. Here's one of the comments. Van smells like marijuana. There was no gas tire. Light came on. Had to air up the driver's side tire.
Who's the owner of that one?
That would be Anthony.
Anthony. Come on. man.
Anthony works in the grocery store. Perfect for our crew of 12 Husker fans to get to the game. Thanks, Anthony.
Oh,
All right. Hey,
Yeah, she had a better experience. Julie did.
didn't have to fill up a tire.
Trying to find the non 5-star ratings.
What if Anthony
was
showed up and
so-
if they was told that the tire was low and Anthony shows up and fills it for them? Does that? I think that's service again.
all of the ratings that weren't 5 stars. Let's see if you can find the connecting piece here. 4 stars from Katrina. Anthony was quick to respond to my questions, and pick up and drop off was easy. The only thing is that there was a smoke smell at the van. Otherwise, it was easy to drive around and get it. Ryan says easy to pick up and drop off. The vehicle was in good driving condition, but there was a strong odor of herb. Definitely needed to get that taken care of.
Anthony, my man, you gotta stop.
Not in the car, Anthony.
Anthony's having some
Not at the
bakes.
table, Carlos.
Do a little clam bacon.
We are
Oh,
about
boy.
to have a big weekend in this town where we have a lot of money people.
That's
Yep.
true. It's almost
It's
Berkshire.
just 2 weeks
So-
away.
So
Or
would
is it
this
a
be
week
the
away?
time to get on Turo?
Yeah, it would be.
It would be.
Oh yeah, you get tipped too.
I tell you what, nobody's driving my car. Without me there,
I know.
forget about it.
That is kind of. Isn't that funny? You'll give up your
God
house for a
knows what
weekend,
they'll
but
do
you
in there.
won't give up your car. That is an interesting little dilemma.
They'll putty it. They'll take it like Putty did.
Yes.
Dirty Mike and the boys. Thanks for the F Shack.
I got someone who wants to talk to you. Revs the engine.
So yeah, there's another money-making opportunity for our citizens of Omaha. Don't get into the taxi game. Get into the
No.
Turo.
Well, I mean,
Turo, man.
the cabbies tried to warn us this would happen.
Yep.
They
don't,
did.
Don't let Uber into this town. It'll put us out of business.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, cabbie.
They were right
They
though.
were right.
You keep
I mean,
overcharging us.
They're not even.
Were the cabbies right? Bull question.
All right.
What else have they warned us about?
They're prophets, modern day prophets.
Yeah. See, there are now.
They see
hey,
people, they talk to people, they know the way the
Yeah.
wind's
There
blowing.
are so many kids nowadays that just think an Uber is the taxi
Yep.
that they'll never understand the
hailing a
panic,
cab.
hailing a cab, the awkwardness of getting into a cab. If you're supposed to sit in the front, everybody goes in the back, and then watching the meter.
Yep. Watch the meter and freaking out like, damn, this is getting expensive. And
Or
then if the credit card machine works.
Or the great conversation that you have with a cab driver.
Or the great conversation that the cab driver's having on his Bluetooth.
Where you going?
Because that's typically my experience in a cab is it's never a conversation with me and the cab driver. He's talking to somebody else and I can't understand what he's saying.
That's fine.
Thankfully, the cabs are still an important part of New York City.
Yeah.
But there is nothing like trying to hail a cab in New York City
It's so fun.
and then getting put into a tier of, yeah, you're not that sex, so you got to go to the back.
you have to be really aggressive. I mean, you got to
gotta
really
stand
jump
in the
front.
street basically.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
wave one down.
You
Okay.
cannot be afraid when you're operating vehicles or trying to operate a vehicle in New York. That's
Looks
for sure.
so easy on TV. Just
Nope.
Yep.
David writes in. He says, "I'm
David.
renting a BMW M4 convertible in Waikiki next week. Love that app.
Damn!
Yeah, hell yeah.
I had never
Baller.
heard of Turo until today.
There you go.
What is Zipcar, by the way? Is it the same similar
I thought it was
thing?
the same idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that. I would see them from time to time and always want to know what it was.
But it's more on college campuses, correct? For kids that come to school and don't have
That
cars.
was where I learned about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Zip.
yes, it's the same thing.
Okay.
God bless taxi drivers.
And bus drivers.
And they will. I mean, you had a great series. It was some of the best comedy that was on TV.
Oh,
And now
yeah.
it's
That's right.
gone away.
Yep.
Everybody learned about Tony Danza, Andy
Yep.
Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
So many famous cab scenes. We won't get those anymore.
I thought you were going to talk about Taxi Cab Confessions.
That's what I thought he was talking
Yeah,
about.
now I realize you're talking about the show Taxi.
What about the game
Oh,
show?
the game show, yeah.
What was,
What is
Cash
that
Cab?
called? Yeah, Cash. Yeah,
I
Cash
love
Cab.
Cash Cab.
Cash Cab.
I love Cash Cab.
Mhm.
It was good.
What was that guy's name? Ben Baker or something like that.
No.
Benjamin Button. I think no.
I don't think that was it.
It was Ben something. Josh.
Ben Bailey.
Ben Bailey. See, I was close, guys.
Benjamin Button.
Ben Bailey.
Yes,
that guy.
the-
He would do like an accent when you got into the car. He's like, "Hey, where you want to go?"
Yeah.
And then they would hop in and be like, yeah. I love that show. We gotta get that show back going. Where's Ben Bailey?
Or then the other one, Taxi Cab Confessions, how the woman would be prying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they'd pick somebody up from the bar,
Oh,
either
wow.
a couple or a single.
Yeah.
Or like a couple of girls. Well, tell me about. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what made it like?
You could tell it was like,
Yeah, they knew.
You only get paid if this
Yeah.
makes it to air.
Yep.
So like they were like just desperately trying to pull everything
You've
out.
got to
of
get
them.
the
You better
confession
tell me a
out.
good story.
Yep.
Ben Bailey does not have anything going on his Wikipedia since 2012.
So he could come back and do the show.
Well, there were
Saying he's
episodes of
available.
Cash Cab on a different channel. New episodes
Really?
this year.
I imagine that's something that you could just bring over to YouTube and he could profit greatly off of it. If the kids found out about Cash Cab, they would love it. But they don't know.
I think it's something you could do locally.
Oh.
Cash Cab host Ben Bailey hopes Reboot brings some relaxation to quarantine tension. Okay, so we're getting back to a couple of years ago now. Somebody heard from him. Oh, he's doing a comedy show in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
Hey, look what Mad Dog's pissed off about. Same thing.
Mad Dog is mad about Billy Joel's concert getting cut off.
Oh, there you go. You guys are kindred spirits there.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
I would love to hear this rant.
On that, since, CBS across the country is going to re-air it Friday.
Yeah.
10-11 in Lincoln got the whole concert.
I heard about this. Lincoln was like one of the only places in America that got the whole damn thing.
They had a real person on the switch. Good for them.
Oh, he's going crazy right now.
His face is inside the camera.
Yeah. You thought you were mad.
Press inquiries. Okay.
Yeah, check out Ben Bailey. Get him on the show.
Yeah.
Nebraska Baseball America still a 2 seed. Going to our favorite place.
No, you guys know the way this ends, right?
Stillwater.
You guys know where
Creighton's a 3 going to Knoxville.
you guys know what's going to happen. They're going to College Station.
Oh God.
This is our life now.
I promise you, they are going
we would love
to
host them.
Texas
so.
A&M is going to be the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, and Nebraska's going there.
Trevor will be the first one as they get off the plane. They'll say, "Howdy."
Hear me now. April 17th, we are a month plus away from this. Nebraska will be the 2 seed in the College Station region.
Yep, and then Texas A&M will also be in the College World Series.
Yes, they will, because they're crushing everybody right now.
Yep,
they're very good.
Will we go?
Gig them.
Will we go to the College
Should
Station
we go to
regional?
College Station Regional?
Been in worse places.
You fly into Houston, drive.
You have to get a Turo.
Maybe
show up
sponsored.
Show up like a boss.
Get a Turo.
Because they're going to be here in June.
Yep.
Yeah, Texas A&M is.
They're a wagon.
Yeah. Trev. Buzzed Williams again.
Mike Elko.
Yeah. I need to rehash that interview with Buzz that I had while that guy hit a home run a couple of years ago. He was getting after it that day. Hey, you're a good look, Jar.
Will Johnny Manziel show up? I mean, he apparently likes going to Nebraska,
yeah.
Texas A&M events.
Oh yeah,
And he seems like he likes to talk. I think he'd be willing to do he'd probably do about every radio hit. That
Johnny's ready.
Requested.
Johnny's ready to tell his story.
Yeah,
He'd be at the shots.
Oh yeah, he'd be partaking for sure. There would be Texas A&M, Tennessee, every other team, and then there'd just be Johnny Manziel. It would be his own team, and he probably would win.
Yeah, he would probably beat the smallest school that makes it. Well, it won't be Stanford this year.
Yeah, it was Stanford.
They're not going to make it this year.
UC
Unfortunately,
Irvine or something.
Yeah, there you go. UC Irvine.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Manziel will beat. Yeah, Manziel will beat the Big West team.
Not because they've been close. My team's East Carolina.
Okay. The Pirates.
Everybody
they
loves
get close.
East Carolina.
But you realize that, let's say things play out, and we're always looking for celebrities that come here.
We are.
So we could have Calipari. I don't think he's ever been to the College World Series.
Okay.
I want to go to the
World
Series.
If they're here, he's got to be here.
Kentucky's an Omaha team.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on the ACC network last night against Louisville.
Mark Pope.
Pope.
My best friend, Mark Pope.
Yep. He'll probably bring the national championship trophy with him.
Rick Pitino will probably show up in that case. I love Mark Pope.
Oh, I don't know.
Mark Pope is
bad
a great
experience
man.
with Omaha last time here. He got COVID.
That's true.
Rick Pitino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he just died of frostbite.
He wanted to die.
Well, he wanted to, but apparently that game ended up being a super spreader.
Nice.
Or at least for Rick Pitino.
Just for Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
A super spreader for Rick Pitino.
Yeah, because it takes a lot to actually get Rick Pitino sick. He is a vampire.
Can't wait to see what our field looks like this year. It's going to be very exciting. Get your Turos.
I'm just gonna. You just made a prediction. April 17th. I'll say it'll have a SEC flavor.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
What do you?
Careful on that limb there.
Yeah, where are you getting that from?
Just observations of watching the SEC network.
Okay.
You got some pretty good baseball teams.
Yeah.
Jack hit a home run 518 feet last night.
He murdered a baseball.
Yes, he did.
That's a large man.
Charges pending. That was bad. Yeah, that was smoked.
And then we have the 2 teams that played in the final last year are not even ranked.
Nope.
LSU and Wake Forest.
That's right.
Thanks for the memes.
Wake Forest is okay though.
I didn't see it because I know they were hanging on in the top 25. But did Florida get booted out of the top 25 this year too? Or this week?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
Because aren't they? They're like a game above 500. I think. I know they won last night, but
they lost to St. John's. People forget that.
Big East.
Let's see. College baseball, D1 baseball top 25 for this week does not include the Gators.
Yeah, Florida dropped out.
Okay. Yeah, they
also doesn't include the Big Red.
They were 18.
Go Big Red.
I think they were like 17 and 15 at like ranked 18. And everybody else had like
a lot of respect.
3 or 4 losses.
It's a lot of respect. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a great afternoon.
Hey,
enjoy your days.
You too.
Thank you.
It's nice out there.
I will. That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Wednesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
I am so glad that the Easter Bunny is like bored and no kids are coming to see him, because I think there is no good-looking Easter Bunny costume.
Right.
This is my yearly TED Talk. The Easter Bunny costume is the most hideous costume around a holiday that is out there.
It's true.
And so good on America that has stood up against throwing your kids on a stranger's lap that is wearing a hideous bunny costume. We can do better. We are doing better. Okay, thank you for stopping by.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A windy and mild Wednesday ahead. Expect clouds early on, then becoming sunny as we head through the middle of the day. Northwest winds will gust up to 35 miles per hour in the morning, then calming more in the afternoon as we see more late-day cloud cover. Highs around 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Need tires but can't get away? Or is your company fleet plagued by unscheduled downtime? Check out Jensen Mobile Express Services at jensentireandauto.com. The easiest way to get new tires delivered and installed at your location. Jensen.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Put your coffee department in good hands with Host Coffee Service, providing direct delivery and loaned coffee equipment with service programs. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
I have never seen this before. Hi, John with Saul's Jewelry and Loan. The price of gold is the highest it's ever been. Now is the time to get the best price on your broken jewelry, chains, and diamond jewelry. Saul's has been around a while, and trust us, now's the time. Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote 1-800-670-5151. That's 1-800-670-5151. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-670-5151. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential.
But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Join me, Jimmy Allen, for the Creighton Athletics Hour. We'll be talking all things Blue Jays and interviewing your favorite coaches, so you don't want to miss it. It's the Creighton Athletics Hour, Thursdays, starting at 6 o'clock, only on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and your 1620 The Zone mobile app.
The Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, good morning. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I'm Connor Happer. Josh Hodson here as well. Today on the show, we'll talk about Creighton get another win against Nebraska and Lincoln. The Blue Jays have not lost at Haymarket Park since 2017.
That's a long time ago.
Life was different in 2017.
Sure was.
Almost as long since Nebraska's been to a bowl game. Almost. But Nebraska hasn't been to a bowl game in longer. Cue Dion coming in and yelling at us for lying. I didn't say any lies just then, by the way.
No lies told.
That was all truth. So we'll talk about a little baseball during the show today. We'll jump inside the mind of a couple people.
Oh.
Coach Prime. What's going on with Coach Prime? Why is he telling his kids to recruit and hop in DMs to join? Doesn't feel like that train is very long for the running anymore. But that's just me. We'll hop inside the mind of one Reggie Miller, who, I don't know, maybe we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just say he had a brain fart last night on television.
It happens.
Yep, maybe it happens. We'll hop inside the mind of one Matt Rule. Has some things to say about the transfer portal and displays his the comfort in which he is running Nebraska's football program right now. We'll jump inside the mind of young Dylon, who, speaking of buses, I watched the bus podcast. They didn't even do it from a bus. They did it from Nebraska's big old practice facility.
Typical media lying to us.
Once again, the media lies. That and plenty more coming up on the show. Our guests today feature Robin Washut of Husker Online. We will ask him about Nebraska's newest portal additions, of which they have 3 over the last couple of days. In basketball, Mitch Sherman of The Athletic at 11:30, and it is Wednesday, and so at noon, we open up the tweet bag, and we have incentives for you as well. $50 to Woodcliff Restaurant.
Hello.
Is on the line. 50, it's almost summer. You could feel it in the air. Be a pretty good place to go have a nice meal, either with the family or just a little date night. $50 to Woodcliff will get you covered. All you got to do is ask a question in the tweet bag, which is coming up at noon. That is the lineup powered by the Rooferees of John Egan's Weather Guard. Want to get in touch with the show? I'd love it if you did. 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. You could call or text that number, tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor, Josh-O at 1620thezone.com in the Equitable Bank inbox. Send your tweet back questions into all of those places. And you know what? We'll even take questions on the YouTube stream.
Wow.
We say good morning to our YouTube watchers at YouTube/1620 The Zone TV, or, of course, conveniently located on our website at 1620thezone.com. Here we are on a Wednesday. Why don't we break here real quick, and then we'll jump into the baseball from last night. As Creighton has now beaten Nebraska 10 out of 12 times. Is this a conspiracy? Was the wind only working for Creighton last night? Maybe.
Possible.
Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. And did you see the way that those goons celebrated on that field?
Like they had won the damn World Series.
We'll talk about the Jays and the Skurs. They have another matchup in 13 days. Creighton will be going for the sweep of Nebraska. We'll talk about that when we return. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
Attention Omaha parents, if you're looking for a fun, safe, affordable summer camp experience for your kids, look no further than Camp Croc. Located at Croc Center, Omaha, just off of Kennedy Freeway and Q Street, Camp Croc runs weekdays from the end of May through August 9th. Kids ages 6 through 12 will enjoy all kinds of activities, from sports and character building to swimming and STEM projects. Plus, breakfast, lunch, and snacks are included. For more details, go to omahacroc.org. That's omahakroc.org.
Do you like to shoot fireworks? Would you like to get paid to shoot fireworks? J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in Western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
The Nebraska legislature will soon vote to raise consumer prices by imposing a sales tax on advertising. Nebraska's small businesses would be hit hardest, forcing them to raise prices, meaning we'd all pay more for the things we need. Contact your state senator and tell them no ad tax. Visit noadtaxnebraska.com to find your senator's contact information. That's noadtaxnebraska.com. A message from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we want you to have the best car buying experience possible. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group or at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Here's Andrew from Twitter on Nebraska Baseball.
Hello, Andrew.
He says, no conspiracy. Nebraska's bullpen has been an issue for the last few years. Beginning of the season, it looked like they had figured some things out, but the last few weeks have shown that those issues are still there. People we're on edge a little bit about Nebraska baseball.
What a cogent point, though.
As well, here's the thing, man. Like,
I'm not used to getting those. It's mostly people just yelling at us.
Yeah, we prefer those. No. We like the cogent points as well. I think there's a couple things going on here. First of all, a wise man once told me that it's Creighton in Nebraska, so some weird bleep is going to happen. And so last night really yesterday throughout the day, when there's storms surrounding the area and the game's going on, I'm sitting in my basement. We got lightning going on outside, but everything's fine down in Lincoln. And then you add in a nice little 50-mile-an-hour wind that just blows directly out to left center field. I thought, yeah, this is going to be a Creighton, Nebraska game.
This feels right.
All right. And so, these midweek games, they are a part of the deal. And you play Creighton 3 times. Nebraska plays Creighton 3 times. Creighton plays Nebraska 3 times. Like you want to win those games. Creighton has had now a lot more success in doing so. But also, I mean, we're talking about a whole bunch of basically 1 or 2 run games that come down to the last inning. And, in a lot of cases, even though Creighton used, their back end good arms last night, Lamb, Curtin, Cook, they gave him the last 4 innings of the game. Like a lot of weird things could happen even in those first 3 or 4 innings, 5 innings, where you're trying to kind of put it together. So for Nebraska, it was Caleb Clark and Cal Freelick, and then some young guys that were thrown in there. Dice did a good job, and then Perry was ultimately the one who got beat up a little bit in the 9th inning. A couple singles, and then I guess it was Sanders who gave up the home run. So I don't know how much stock to put into the midweek games. With that being said, like you want to win them because they're the rivalry games, right? And it's now kind of become a thing where Creighton has kind of owned this series, and you feel like they're going to be the ones to do things fundamentally sound enough to win you, because that's what it's all about. Like it's either about your best players being better than the other team's best players or not screwing up, especially in these midweek games. And, Creighton got a big hit last night, a wind-aided, big hit, that's for sure. But everybody had to deal with the wind. I just would caution Nebraska fans by saying, don't overreact too much to the midweek games. Don't overreact too much to the midweek games. You want to win them. You desire to win them. But don't come through afterwards with I don't know. This team probably they were projected to be a 1 seed last week, and they've gone on a little bit of a slide here. And they couldn't beat Creighton again on Tuesday night. And the takeaway is I don't see this team going to a regional. They don't deserve to go to a regional. I'm like, okay, hold on. And I will also add something that I don't feel like has been added to the conversation from the Nebraska fans' standpoint, and something that I think you should realize that may give you a little bit of solace, and that Creighton is good. I've been trying to tell you all year, Creighton's good.
Those bats have got some pop.
Yeah, they are a good team. It's a complete lineup. They still do the things defensively that you expect them to do. They still run the bases well. And they got a little, like Josh said, they got a little bit of pop in them too. And so they've won 10 out of 12 in the series. Creighton hasn't lost in Lincoln since 2017. And on the other side, I think it's basically 2 pretty evenly matched teams. And it's a giant win for Creighton to get the grand slam in the 9th inning. I'm not sure how they did it. I love their approach later in the game. Even, for them to come back, and I think it was the 6th or the 7th where they left the bases loaded. They had the bases loaded with nobody outs. Columbus had the big diving play at first base, which was huge. And them to get nothing out of that and then come back, put together that rally in the 9th and get the big hit by Dieters. It's just good baseball. Right. And then for Nebraska to nearly mount enough of a comeback in the 9th inning to get a couple balls up into that jet stream and see how it went from there. But we're talking about 1-2 run games here with midweek arms, and I'm not trying to downplay the importance of winning the game in the sense of the rivalry, like in the rivalry sense, but I do want to make sure we understand that what the circumstances are when you play on Tuesday compared to when you play on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right. So they're a little bit different. And by the way, I'm not saying that Nebraska would win a series if it was on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday either, because I think honestly both teams are really similarly built at this point. I'm not saying that Nebraska would win that series, but I think it takes on, like these games come down to very little things during the week, and you could tell how evenly matched the teams are. So, like, all is to say, if you're a Nebraska man, Nebraska fan, Nebraska woman, I would not overreact to what I saw last night. That's all. It's a frustrating loss. You can't beat Creighton. Maybe there's a mental thing that's starting to creep in. You put a lot of pressure on yourself to win the damn game, and you can't figure out a way to do it.
We've heard from Dion on the YouTube stream.
Hi, Dion. What's up?
Connor, you're making more of a big deal out of it than it is.
Wait. What? I'm making less. I'm making no deal out. That's what I'm doing. I'm downplaying it. Dion, I'm downplaying it.
Well, some people hear what they want to hear.
Oh, is he talking about like the rivalry? Oh, okay. I'm looking back at Dion's previous comments now. Dion has chimed in more than once. Creighton needs Nebraska badly. They ride Nebraska brand to get eyeballs on its program, or nobody would know who they are. Nebraska gains absolutely nothing from playing Creighton. It's just a practice game to get ready for more Big Ten games. We have bigger fish to fry. It's funny how badly Creighton wants to beat us, like the World Series final. Okay, so that was the exact thing I cautioned people on yesterday. They aren't rivals for Nebraska. The Big Ten is. I'm telling you that Nebraska doesn't give a bleep about Creighton. Dion, you're wrong. Point blank, period. You are just wrong about that. Nebraska absolutely cares about beating Creighton. They do. You could argue. We could quibble about who cares more about beating who. I don't know. We could argue about that, but it's a rivalry. They play each other 3 times every year. They're 50 miles down the road. We have the big brother, little brother dynamic. They don't like each other. All the players have played, probably 50% of both rosters are local kids. They've played with each other for years. Like, there is motivation to win the game on both sides. That just that's not an argument that I'm honestly willing to even have at this point. But let's go to a couple more comments here. James on the YouTube. He says one thing that stood out to me last night was the Creighton dugout was barking from the first pitch. The Husker dugout was silent and dead. The people in my section were lively and fun. That is a Creighton staple. They and it's not like talking trash. It's not chirping or anything like that. But they manufacture intensity from their dugout.
Okay,
that is part of what they do. It is a college baseball environment. And I think Will has, I don't know if it's more of a professional kind of atmosphere. Like it definitely still has a college feel to it, but like Creighton makes it a point. Like if energy is lacking during a game, everybody's up on the top step. You notice how everybody runs out to the field and stuff like that. That's just the way that they do it. That's the way that Ed Service has always done it. If you notice, they'll all gather together at third base or at first base if they're on the first base dugout, and they'll sprint out to their positions as hard as they possibly can, and then they'll play ball. Like, that's just one of the things that they do. That doesn't mean that one has to be better than the other. That doesn't mean that one is the right way to do it. That's the way Creighton's always done it. They have an identity, absolutely. Like they totally have an identity with all of their programs. That's one of the reasons why they've had the upper edge, the upper hand on Nebraska in all these sports. They have an identity. They know who they are. And yeah, they want these games pretty bad. They don't spend any time being an idiot and downplaying stuff. They're just like, yeah, this is a big game. We're going to embrace it. Great. Not that Nebraska does a whole lot of that, but I hear it from Nebraska fans quite a bit. Jacob writes in, he says, as a diehard Nebraska fan of all sports, you have to tip your hat to Creighton. They have a great program between all sports. Have owned Nebraska. Wish their baseball team had more fans. Yeah. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. They know exactly who they want to be. And this year they got a little bit more talent, and with that comes a bit of a higher ceiling. They're going to find some pitching, to get them through. We'll see what happens. I mean, for the last, was it 2 weeks now? Yeah, for the last 2. I mean, they're not going to have their Friday starter maybe for a while. Creighton. And they just churn it out, find a way. That's a Friday. That's their Friday starter.
Yeah.
Brandon says, as a member of Husker Nation, I would like to personally distance myself from any and all comments made by Dion.
You have that option.
You do. Couple more texts here. Okay, gosh, I got emails too. We'll get to Robin in a minute. Nebraska's bullpen has been good enough. We can't hit worth a damn. We're winning early in the season because we put balls in play and opposing teams are making a ton of errors. I actually tend to gravitate more toward that.
Oh,
I do not.
You loved the small ball early.
I do not. I have not. Post 2021, like Nebraska's approach at the plate. I think there's way too much swing and miss in their game. I think they have talent. And they play in a small ballpark, and I think to a degree you want to play to that, but they swing at everything. They swing you throw them a fastball up in the zone, they're going for it. Mason Cook, who basically is just cutter slider. I mean, you get a right-hander up against that guy, it's over. They're swinging out of the zone. They swing. I hate to say this, but they swing too much. I appreciate aggression, but I don't like their approach at the plate. I haven't for a couple of years. That's just me, though.
Jack Mitchell softball experience could learn a thing or two from Will Bolt's boys.
Swing more?
Yeah.
Please, swing more. Text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Nothing triggers Nebraska fans more than the term blue state, and Creighton fans know this and spout it all over Twitter and other social media. Nobody is worse at this than your own trolling John Bishop, a Nebraska graduate like yourself, which is why John gets muted during basketball and baseball season. Nothing is worse than loudmouth boasting Creighton fans that graduated from Nebraska. Doing a job, guys. He's the play-by-play voice of Creighton basketball, baseball.
But he graduated from Nebraska.
People go to college all over the place, John. People go to college all over the place. All right, more emails. John emails in, Dion really lives in his own world, and Creighton would be a top 5 team in the Big Ten. It's not a practice game for Nebraska. And Matt says, why not start a weekend pitcher for Nebraska against Creighton to end this losing streak? They're recruiting the same in-state player pool, so they need to win those games. Yeah, I think that would probably just signal that you maybe wanted a little bit too much. I don't know. And one more from Carrie. He says, this is about the time I started to listen to your show last year. Is Josh canceling Husker baseball?
Whoa. No.
Are we close?
No.
Okay.
Hasn't come up on my radar.
Good. You're chilling out.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. We can have more on that a little bit later in the show, but we're late. We got to get to Robin Washut. Coming up on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Forget the drive to Colorado or Missouri. Stop into any Omaha 42 Degrees and indulge in a curated cannabis experience. Premium flower, cannabis, pre-rolls, and cannabis accessories paired with an elevated customer service experience. All are waiting for you at 42 Degrees. From novices to connoisseurs, we're here to elevate your cannabis journey. 42 Degrees, your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Storm Chasers travel to Music City to take on the Nashville Sounds tonight. First pitch is scheduled for 6:35. Listen to the game on your home for Storm Chasers baseball, 1290 Coil.
Bet the NBA play-in tournament with a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel, and you've got a lot of options because it doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or you already have an account, you're going to get bonus bets. I tell you, bonus bets back if your same-game parlay doesn't win on any Tuesday night matchup.
And NBA same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance to score a bigger payday. Whether it's Sacramento, Miami, LA, it doesn't matter. Have some fun with some same game parlays, however you want to play. Just head to FanDuel.com/zone to bet the NBA with a no sweat same game parlay. That's FanDuel.com/zone. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in Iowa. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, let's see if we can track down Robin Washut of HuskerOnline.com. I believe they have a live chat going on their website right now, and that might be him calling right then. He always is nice enough to join us even when they're doing their live chat at HuskerOnline.com, bringing forth the goods in the info. Let's go there now as we have successfully tracked down Robin Washut of Husker Online, joining us in the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Robin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am well.
Good. Sorry we were a little late.
It's okay. No worries. I was just finishing up our Husker Online live chat.
The chat is the chat popping today?
It was bustling today, and it's April because everybody wants basketball transfer portal news. So got 5 pages of info rolling right now.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's get into a couple of those things. So they've now acquired 3 players over the last week or so here, and the latest being Gavin Griffiths last night. That's a younger guy. Doesn't necessarily fit into the mold of experienced transfers who have played a lot. The other 2 in Morgan and Worcester definitely do. I guess is that the difference there with the projectability for Griffiths?
Yeah, I mean, you have to balance out your roster at some point where it's not just true freshmen and seniors. So that was a big part of it. But also, he checks a lot of boxes. It didn't show in his numbers last season, but he's a high-level shooter. He was one of the top shooters in the 2023 class and was a top 50 recruit nationally. When he signed at Rutgers, he was, at that point, Steve Pikiell's highest-rated high school prospect ever. So, he's a guy that carries a lot of just recruiting profile from his high school days. And then even though, like I said, his numbers don't look great in totality from last season, at Rutgers, if you go towards maybe the last 10 or so games, you could see how things kind of click for him a little bit. And that Nebraska game in New Jersey was one of them, kind of one of the starting points for when he started to figure things out. So he had 2 pretty decent games against Nebraska. So, that their staff saw firsthand kind of what his potential could be. And then you pair that with, the freedom and opportunities that come with Fred Hoiberg's offense compared to those in Steve Pikiell's offense. Maybe he projects a little bit higher than what he was able to do in Piscataway. So, from a shooting standpoint, talent standpoint, he's there. And then he's 6'8". So, you get a guy like that has all those, things working in his favor, and he's just a true sophomore. I think that was a really nice addition in a lot of ways, especially when you compare it to what was on the roster and what they've recently added.
How many of the 3 guys that they've gotten so far are starters next year?
I'd say Worcester's probably the closest. I mean, dude started 101 games over the last 4 years, so I don't know if he necessarily came here to be a backup,
right?
A rotation guy. But then, Aaron Eulis, I'm sure, is going to have something to say about that as well. So that competition will be fascinating. And then with Morgan, right now, I think he projects as maybe the top 5-man off the bench, but we still don't really have an idea of rink mass and what his potential knee surgery situation is going to look like. So, his role is not cemented by any any means yet. So there's a chance. And then with Griffiths, I'd probably put him as a bench guy at this point, just considering how veteran heavy their lineup is. So of those three, I'd say probably Worcester's the top most likely guy to be a starter, with Morgan potentially having an opportunity.
So what else are you looking for as they move forward? There's still open scholarships. There's still roles to be filled for Nebraska basketball. Who's on the radar right now?
Yeah, they need shooting. Obviously, they got Griffiths, which is a good addition in there, but I think they need more. You lose certainly your two best 3-point shooters, and then Demarcus Lawrence was pretty critical in that as well when he was on. So they just need to add more weapons on the perimeter, and not just spot up 3-point shooters, but guys that create shots off the dribble. You got Bryce Williams, who's capable of doing that, but they need more. So I would say high level 3-point shooting, kind of a go-to scoring guard, and then probably maybe a little bit more of a bruiser enforcer type in the post, and then maybe like a more skilled stretch 4 type that could play inside out on the wing or on the block. So that's kind of the profile players that I think they're going to be looking for with these last 4 spots. We'll see if they fill all 4 scholarships. But if they do, those are probably the ways that I would expect them to go. And so names, they've been linked to like Pharrell Payne at Minnesota. He just visited Indiana this past weekend. I think he's going to visit Texas coming up soon. But I'd heard that there's a chance that he could potentially make it to Lincoln for a visit this week. Maybe within the next few days. Have not confirmed that yet, so still working on that. And then who else? Oh, they had the Igor Milicic, who just visited on Sunday. The Charlotte transfer, 6'10", like he fits that skilled stretch 4 build. He visited Tennessee, and then he's at Baylor today, and those are going to be his only 3 visits. So Nebraska's in the top 3 with him, and the decision probably will come relatively soon since he's done taking visits. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Who else? Brendan Housen, kid from Villanova, the 3-point shooter. There's been a lot of smoke building there. Don't have any confirmation about whether it's just anything beyond interest at this point, but it seems like Nebraska's kind of making a push there. So he checks the box of that, skilled 3-point shooter. So you're starting to see names that kind of fit all those kind of remaining voids in the roster right now. And now it's just a matter of, who can further emerge as a legitimate target and realistic target for Nebraska over the next couple weeks.
Robin Washut of Husker Online is with us. Okay, on to football. I was sort of interested in the idea of basically load management that Matt Rule is giving some of his experienced players this spring. What do you think of that idea? And really, it seems like he takes it kind of easy on them throughout the season as well. Like I think there's probably, to a certain level, there can be a drawback or two of that. But he seems to be taking it pretty easy on experienced guys.
Well, for the spring, that's something that Tom Osborne and Joe Paterno both did. So I think there's probably a method to that madness there. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially now with these COVID year guys, dudes playing their 6 seasons of college football. Like, do you think that they need, full load of reps in spring? Like, probably not. Like, especially when you have all these other guys that you're trying to figure out and evaluate. Like, it's kind of
that's it for me. Like, I think that's the part. Like, you get to develop the younger guys.
Yeah, so you rest your older guys because you know what they are, and they're older guys now. They're 23, 24 years old. Like, you don't need to kind of wear down the tread even more than you have to with those types of players. So I think he always mentions the 1,000 rep mark, and guys like that probably eclipsed that a while ago, and they're known commodities right now. And so in the fall, I'm sure that'll change. Like, they're not going to just sit those dudes out when you're starting to prepare for actual games. But right now, like, there's really just no need. Like, you know what those guys are. You know how they project. into your roster coming up, and now is the opportunity to give other guys a chance to show what they can do and give you a better idea of what else you have to work with on that roster.
Hey, and some of your I'm reading through your observations from yesterday's open period. Like, is there a name or two that's popped up both times where you kind of saw them and you're like, whoa, that's different, or it just popped out from? I guess it'd be, you can't really tell exactly what they're doing football wise, but just athletically or from a physicality standpoint, is there a name or two that's jumped out to you this spring?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's practice wasn't a whole lot. It was just a lot of individual drills, but I think it was notable that pretty much everybody on our staff, when we did our observations, noticed Chief Borders. I mean, and they were just doing simple, individual pass rush drills, but just the intensity and explosiveness that he showed in just a simple drill, in the way that he finished on the tackling dummy. I mean, he looked like he was getting ready for a game, whereas everybody else, looked like they were going through spring practice. Not a knock on them. It just more stood out how hard Chief Borders' motor was going. And so that's definitely something that stood out, especially when you pair it with, the comments I think Matt Rule made about kind of how Borders has taken that next step this offseason. We kind of saw a glimpse of that certainly yesterday. So I think that's one guy that immediately jumped out from Tuesday. And then obviously after practice, the big name was Vincent Shavers, where as a true freshman, he's really opened a lot of eyes physically, but I think more importantly, just his maturity and his business-like approach for being such a young guy. It's kind of the comments being made about him remind me so much of the same things they were saying about Cam Lenhart a year ago. And you saw what he was able to do right away before, he got dinged up. So those two guys have certainly caught some attention on the defensive side of the ball, and I think are going to be poised to have some pretty big roles here coming up next season.
All right, Robin. Appreciate it as always. We will talk to you later. Thanks.
Sounds good to you.
Robin Washut of HuskerOnline.com. Little basketball, little football. Portal's coming together a little bit for Nebraska. Got a good mix of youth and experience.
5 pages.
5 pages of portal information. You can check out all of Robin's stuff out at HuskerOnline.com. A little breaking news out of the NBA. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Okay. I have now seen it.
So over the last couple of days, the news is broke about Michael Porter's little brother, Jonte Porter, and his activity in the gaming world, not the video gaming world, but the gambling world, the sports gambling world in particular. And so one of the instances that they found, I mean, there was a whole bunch, but he basically was found guilty here of limiting his own participation in a game in order to come through or not come through on prop bets that were related to him. Jonte Porter has been banned from the NBA.
For how long, Connor?
That's banned forever.
Okay.
Forever, Josh. Now, it's not a significant name. He's, like a two-way, sometimes G League guy, whatever. But you see banned from the NBA and you're like, okay, whoa. All right. Here's the NBA's release, or part of it. The league's investigation found that prior to the Raptors' March 20th game, Jonte Porter disclosed confidential information about his own health status to an individual that he knew to be an NBA bettor. Another individual with whom Porter associated and knew to be an NBA bettor subsequently placed an $80,000 parlay prop with an online sportsbook to win $1.1 million, wagering that Porter would underperform in the March 20th game. The league's investigation also found that Porter limited his own game participation to influence the outcome of one or more bets on his performance in at least one Raptors game. In the March 20th game, Porter only played 3 minutes, claiming that he felt ill. Due to the unusual betting activity actions of the player, the $80,000 prop bet was frozen and not paid out. In addition, from January through March of this year, while traveling with the Raptors G League team, the Raptors 905, Porter placed at least 13 bets on NBA games using his associate's online betting account. These bets ranged in size from $15 to $22,000 for a total of just over $54,000. The total payout of those bets was $76,000, so he won money, $21,000. None of the bets involved any games in which Porter played. 3 of the bets were multi-game parlay bets that included one Raptors game in which Porter bet that the Raptors would lose. All 3 bets lost in that specific case. So Adam Silver has got a quote in here about the integrity of the game and stuff like that. But yeah, NBA banned from the NBA certainly catches your eye.
That's noteworthy for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a yikes. Lifetime ban. How about that? Because I as the story was coming together yesterday, I read that piece of it. It was like, yeah, he left one of these games that he, supposedly had somebody bet on for him because he quote unquote felt ill. And I'm like, uh-oh. In other words, he threw the bet. Like he threw the game, basically. He didn't necessarily influence the outcome of the game, but he influenced the outcome of the bet. That's for sure, by making sure that he left the game. Wow. The guts on these guys, man. How are you going to do this and you think that you're not going to get caught?
Well,
it doesn't matter how many other people you go. Like, you can go through 6 channels and try and do it the most secrecy you possibly can. Like, you're going to get caught. Or you could be like the Alabama baseball coach and send the guy up to the thing at the Reds ballpark and say, "Hey, I know the Alabama baseball coach. Trust me.
I know a guy."
Yeah. It's like, no,
fine.
So you can do it one way or the other. Either way, you're going to get caught. They're going to catch you. There's that, like, have you ever been into a casino? Like, all you have to do is walk into a casino one time and understand how much security, cybersecurity, like the lengths that they go, the gaming community, once again, casino gaming community or sports gambling community will go in order to maintain either the integrity of it or make sure they don't get ripped off in some way, shape, or form. That's all you have to do. You can't do anything in a casino without somebody seeing it, without somebody watching it. Like, you're not going to not get caught.
House always wins.
The house always wins. That's exactly right.
Even if you think that you're so small potatoes that, no one's paying attention to me.
Yeah. I got a theory that came in here on a message. It says, I bet he was deep. I bet he was in deep to a bookie, so he had to do that to be able to clear up his bet and how much he owed. Certainly possible, too. It's like, okay, you want to pay your debts back? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place an $80,000 bet on you to go under on rebounds or whatever it is. You make sure that happens. Otherwise, it's going to be big trouble for you, my friend. And he goes, excuse me, coach, I'm sick.
I've got the black lung.
I got black lung. Yeah. Lifetime ban for Jonte Porter. All right, we are back with Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, who has whatever the opposite of a lifetime ban for being on this show is.
Oh,
what's the opposite of a lifetime ban? A lifetime invitation.
Free pass.
Free pass.
Yeah.
To be on this show. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
I have mostly sports things that I want nothing to do with muted.
Okay.
Major League Baseball, muted. Baseball, muted.
Don't you love the Mets?
I did. Yeah. Mahomes, Chiefs, Harbaugh, Wolverines, Michigan, FIFA World Cup,
Goal,
Qatar,
Goal.
World Cup, VAR, USMTNC, World Cup, Wordle. I got lots on here.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A windy and mild Wednesday ahead. Expect clouds early on, then becoming sunny as we head through the middle of the day. Northwest winds will gust up to 35 miles per hour in the morning, then calming more in the afternoon as we see more late-day cloud cover. Highs around 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
A Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
You're sitting with a couple of pals at Backlot Tap House in Exarban Village when your server brings up this perfectly cooked smash burger. The smell of a juicy beef patty sends a waft of aroma right up your nose, and your eyes instinctively close because, well, awesomeness. Your friends get their orders, and you just kind of look at each other and think, yeah, this is going to be good. Backlot Tap House with 30 beers on tap, happy hour every day, trivia nights, live music, and more. Exarban Village and BacklotTapHouse.com.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Storm Chasers travel to Music City to take on the Nashville Sounds tonight. First pitch is scheduled for 6:35. Listen to the game on your home for Storm Chasers baseball. 1290 Coil.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Who do you want to talk about first?
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
You can play. And we need people that can play.
And we'll never be royals. Let me live that fantasy.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. On the Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
You can play.
And we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. Mitch, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I'm looking forward to a doubleheader of Royals baseball this afternoon.
I was going to say we get a double dip and we don't have to dread it the entire time because it used to be that if there was a doubleheader, I would just be like, well, that means double the losses in the day for the Royals, but not that way anymore, especially when they're playing the crappy White Sox.
The White Sox, I saw they were 2-14, so
that's right.
They're enjoying the kind of April that Kansas City fans. It might even go beyond what Kansas City fans are accustomed to.
Yeah, I think it does. Like in their case, there's actually no hope. Where in Kansas City, you always there was always something that you had to hang on to. But in this case, I don't think there's any hope. So yeah,
what their attendance will be in July.
Oh boy. Not very good. I can't imagine very good. Okay, Mitch, let's go on to some football things here. As there was an open period yesterday. Got a couple things out of that. Matt Rule talking about he even makes Nebraska's lack of activity into and out of the transfer portal sound kind of interesting because of the way he kind of frames things up. He talked about how it didn't, it's like if they're going to go in the transfer portal, they're going to go in the transfer portal. He just projects so much confidence in what they're doing and in their plan when he talks about player movement in this era. It's honestly, I think it's pretty refreshing.
Sure, he finds a way to, I guess, make it interesting. That's maybe not his goal with that. I think he wants to keep fans engaged, yeah, but more so, he wants to keep recruits engaged, and he wants to be able to explain all that's going on in his program. And you look around the country on a day like Tuesday, and it's going on again today, and you see programs remaking their rosters and, having double-digit departures, which is going to lead to double-digit new arrivals. And Nebraska's going to have some of that. You get to the end of the spring, and there will be a modest number, I would say, of players who leave and a smaller number that come to Nebraska from the portal. You have to embrace that aspect of roster building in this day of college football, but it's very much on the back burner at Nebraska, and Rule chooses instead to focus on the things that keep his players in Lincoln instead of succumbing to the pressure to get in that game and go to the highest bidder. He talked about yesterday about how coaches have approached some of the Nebraska players, and if there's players who've come to the coaches with information that they've received from other programs, then that there are probably some players out there on the Nebraska roster who are contemplating it, who didn't come straight to the coaches and say, "Hey, this is what I heard." But Rule frames it, like you said, in a refreshing way, in that he highlights the things in his program, from nutrition and strength and development, sports science, whatever it is, strength and conditioning, that are keeping Nebraska players in Lincoln. And I think he's right. I think there's a reason that you don't see all the movement at Nebraska, and it has to do with the stability that he's built.
As far as additions for Nebraska, is there any one? Is it fair to even categorize it as they're like, you're always looking, you're always aware of what's going on, and if something falls into your lap, then I'm sure Nebraska would take advantage of that. But is active even a word that you would use with them as far as player acquisition at this point in the portal?
I think so. I think you always have to be active, and I think you can look to Evan Cooper's probably their he is their number one evaluator. He's the chief scout, I suppose. He's going to look over things in the portal, and I think film will be brought to him, and you can kind of monitor some of his social media activity, who he's following, and to get a sense of not who Nebraska's ready to offer, but perhaps who they're interested in looking more at and starting a conversation. Once players go into the portal, if they show up on Evan Cooper's radar and he drops them a follow, then it's gone to the next level. Not the level that it'll take to bring them into Lincoln, but the next level. And they're looking. There's not so much of a concern anymore about staying within the 85 scholarships, because there's flexibility related to NIL. So it allows you, even if you're at the limit or above the limit, to look around, and you don't know what you're going to lose too. Some of what Nebraska does over the next month will be dictated by what happens after spring practice, or even this week or next week, and who goes into the portal. There's not a position right now that just screams help me. But they might look at a quarterback. I think you're always interested in an offensive tackle, because those players are at a premium. Same thing with an interior defensive lineman. Not a starter for this year, but someone who could be a starter down the road. Maybe a linebacker, depending on what they're getting out of the early enrollees and transfers who have come into the program. So only they know exactly what their needs are, because they've seen the personnel up close. But I do think that they're active and looking.
Is there Is there a position on offense? We've got through, I think, almost all, if not all, the assistant coaches so far. Talking with those guys, is there a position group on offense that you don't feel, let's say, considerably better about from this year to last year at this point?
Just running back. It's the only one I feel considerably better about. Offensive line, tight end, and wide receiver. And then, wide receiver was in a little bit different spot last year because you had Xavier Betts, who was a story in spring a year ago and into the fall before he left. And you had Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, who was healthy. And there were some good things happening with the wide receivers. And then it all kind of disintegrated once the season began. So there's a risk that something like that could happen again. But right now, I definitely feel better, much better about the wide receivers and I wrote some about that today on The Athletic after the wide receivers talked to the media yesterday, and we heard from Garrett McGuire. I feel much better than I did, like, say, in September or October. Running backs is kind of static. It is where it is. Dante Dowdell hasn't come in and, taken the number one position at this point. The Oregon transfer, he may not, maybe he will. But he's still transitioning. Gabe Irvin is coming back from injury. Ramir Johnson's in a green jersey as he rehabs. So you've got Quentin Ives as a healthy guy. You've got Emmett Johnson as a healthy guy. But it's not a position where you look at it and you just go, yeah, that's miles ahead of where it was last spring.
Doesn't it kind of fit like, I'm not saying that it's a good thing to be unsure if it's better, but like we've heard Matt Rule talk about the way that they approach running backs. They're going to have, it's not going to be just one guy who kind of runs away with the job. They're probably going to have specific roles for their top 3 or 4. Like it kind of fits with how they approach the position. It feels like.
I think that's just running backs in general and at most levels of football, with the caveat being that if you get a player, like if you get one of those Alabama backs from the past few years or the past like decade and a half of Alabama backs, then you're going to make him the featured guy. Part of the reason I think that NFL teams and college teams have primarily gone to like a by committee thing is just because it's hard to hold up in football today as a running back who can take the kind of pounding that they do from bigger, faster defensive players and the way defenses scheme, that in order to keep your players healthy, you have to have an approach with multiple backs, unless you have a truly special player. And certainly if Nebraska finds one of those guys, then that talk about using 3 or 4 or 5 will go out the window. But right now that's where they're at. And considering their situation, they have depth. They don't necessarily have someone who stands out right now on April 17th. It's a good position to be in.
Hey, before we let you go, Mitch, I wanted to ask you about Husker baseball. And I say this with a little bit of knowledge because we got up to this point this morning on our podcast. How close are you to hitting the panic button on Nebraska baseball?
As I told you, I'm getting there. I'm inching toward it. My hand is creeping toward the big red panic button. It's 5 out of 6 games Nebraska's lost now, and since the Sunday against Ohio State at home when things were looking good. 6 out of 9. You've seen them lose 3 consecutive Tuesdays. The Big Ten doesn't leave margin for error. And that's the concern. We saw it last year where Nebraska looked like a very good team at times, yet went into the postseason, the Big Ten tournament, knowing that it needed to win that Big Ten tournament in order to get into the NCAA postseason. And that's what it's trying to avoid, but it's going down a bad road with the way that these Tuesdays have gone. Now, it's not like you losing to, and I'm not, there were some games that Nebraska lost last year in the midweek that were bad losses. And Creighton is not a bad loss. Kansas was a loss that you can absorb. But you have to win some of these games. You really need to win more of them than you lose, which leaves Nebraska with little margin for error over the rest of the regular season when it comes to the midweek games. And they seem to keep playing well in the Big Ten and hope that the series loss last week at Rutgers is about is an anomaly, and they get back on the winning track this weekend at home against Maryland.
All right, Mitch. Appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Connor.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. We also talked for 30 minutes this morning, and it's on YouTube if you want to find it. Just saying. We're also on YouTube on this show right now. So watch this show.
You're always talking to Mitch.
There's just content, there's just out there.
Yeah. Connor flushing toilets.
That's also out there.
Yeah.
I think that's a video that's about to, it's going to have a delayed fuse.
Yeah. It's going to pop.
Like the lemons on Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, okay. You really did watch this movie recently.
Yeah. It's going to have a delayed fuse. And so then in a couple of years, people are going to find this video in the depths of YouTube. They're going to be like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
And we'll be ready.
We'll be ready for it. And we'll be ready to monetize it at that exact moment. Yeah, he's right. I'll tell you what though. While I don't think I'm as concerned maybe as Mitch is, he's right about one thing. It is a very, very thin line in between. And it's the same case with the Big East for the record. Very, very thin line in between winning your conference completely and then being a 2 or a 3 in the NCAA tournament and feeling really good about your standing, and then not making your conference tournament as a whole. Even more so in the Big East, where only 4 teams make it. In the Big Ten, at least there's 8. And so it can get crowded in there really fast, especially when you're not Nebraska and Creighton. Neither of those teams are considerably better than anybody else in their conference, right? They might be the best teams at the end of the day, but neither of them are considerably better than anybody else. It's just, can you find a way to squeak a couple out? So yeah, the line is definitely very thin. It gets scary if you start dropping. Oh, we lost 2 out of 3 this week, and then we followed up with another loss 2 out of 3, and we lost in the midweek game, and all of a sudden you've lost 8 out of 9, and you're like, oh boy, what's going on? So it could develop into that really, really quickly. All right, we will come back. Josh will bring you the odd news. A reminder to get your questions in for the tweet bag because we have $50 to Woodcliff Restaurant for you.
It's all on the line
at Happer Show. Get your questions in. That's the only way you can win. Or, of course, you can get the half-off deal on Friday at 9 at 1620thezone.com. But why pay for it when you can just get it for free here by asking a question?
Yeah, seems a lot easier this way.
Indeed. So we'll have that coming up at noon. The odd news is next on 1620 The Zone. Last night we saw the first couple NBA play-in tournament games and a couple more tonight as bad teams will have a chance to play their way into the postseason. So it only seems right that new customers on FanDuel could play their way into $150. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, to use during the NBA playoffs. So we have a couple series that are set. If you'd like to bet the Nuggets to sweep the Lakers clean in 4 games or just a gentleman's sweep, you could do that on the FanDuel Sportsbook, or individual props, first basket, scores, rebounds, points, overs, unders, and more. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer and get started right now. That's FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online, real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets. That expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
When I heard the words, "you have breast cancer," I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do. My OBGYN called me and said, I know exactly what we're going to do, which led me to Nebraska Cancer Specialists. From day one, I felt that I was at the right place. There were some pretty rough times, but together we are stronger and they are there for you. You do not feel that you are alone.
NebraskaCancer.com.
Forget the drive to Colorado or Missouri. Stop into any Omaha 42 Degrees and indulge in a curated cannabis experience. Premium flower, cannabis, pre-rolls, and cannabis accessories paired with an elevated customer service experience. All are waiting for you at 42 Degrees. From novices to connoisseurs, we're here to elevate your cannabis journey. 42 Degrees, your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
The countdown is on for the 2024 NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light. Catch all 7 rounds, 3 days, live from Detroit. April 25th to 27th with NFL Network Draft coverage presented by Verizon. and on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and streaming on NFL Plus. It all starts Thursday, April 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Visit NFL.com/draft for more information. Rocket Mortgage, official partner of the NFL Draft.
Omaha Maverick baseball and softball are on fire. Baseball has won their last 3 conference series and lead the Summit League in conference wins, while Maverick softball has won 20 of their last 22 games. This weekend at Maverick Park, baseball takes on Northern Colorado, and Maverick softball plays Kansas City. Baseball Friday night is $4 Fridays when soft drinks, beer, popcorn, hot dogs, and brats are all $4. Get your tickets for baseball and softball by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tigs.
Shop Lanahan Nurseries for the highest quality bulk mulch. Buy your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient pickup or free local delivery of 5 yards or more. Lanahan Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor, and Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
when you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Spring is sprung, and you know what? You need to look good. You need to get your fit looking like rad. And Lily Clothing and Well Suited can take care of you because you got prom, you got graduation, you got weddings, and you need to look your best. And you can look your best right now. Why rent a suit? Buy a suit. And you know what? You can get a suit for as little as $199 at Lily Clothing and Well Suited in the Linden Market, 132nd and West Dodge. Take care of yourself now. Why rent when you can buy this season at Lily Clothing and Well Suited?
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
I thought of a poll question during the break. Did you get this out here, Josh?
Oh, no,
we're
not
still
yet.
we're still workshopping it. Which sounds more harsh or severe, if you will?
Oh.
Banned or banished? I saw some people saying that Jonte Porter was banished from the NBA. I like to say banished, for the record. I think that one sounds more harsh.
I like going full Shakespeare and turn it into banished.
Banished?
Thou art banished.
All right, it's up at Happer Show. Which sounds like a more severe punishment, to be banned or to be banished? Please vote. Josh, the odd news.
Yes, we have. We go straight to the New Heights podcast, which is
we have to.
What we do now. Retired Philadelphia Eagles center and former WWE superstar Jason Kelce said his Super Bowl ring is gone.
What do you mean by that?
That's right. On Wednesday's episode, that's today, of the New Heights podcast, Jason Kelsey broke the news to his brother, and then it goes on to explain that his brother is Kansas City tight end Travis Kelsey. I think we have the base information of what this podcast is, news article, that he does not know where his Super Bowl ring is. Jason Kelsey said he loaned his Super Bowl ring for a competition titled Jason Lost His Super Bowl Ring during the New Heights live event at the University of Cincinnati last week.
Oh, so he lost it on purpose as a bit?
No. The game was created because he is known to continuously lose his Super Bowl ring. During the competition, teams competed to find Jason Kelsey's Super Bowl ring amongst several decoys hidden inside 2 inflatable pools filled with chili.
Sure.
He says the video does not do justice to just how disgusting that actually was. Travis chimed in, it smelled so bad.
No, I mean, I think I could get the visual.
Yeah, I think I've got it. After discussing the game, Jason Kelsey told his brother that the Super Bowl ring is now actually lost. He said they tried to use a metal detector after the bit to find it, and they could not find it. And this is where I have my questions really begin to ramp up. He says all of that stuff got thrown away, so I think we can safely assume my Super Bowl ring is now in a landfill somewhere in the Cincinnati tri-state area.
And he doesn't seem to really care. I mean, he's not making a stink about this.
He did file an insurance claim on the ring. He's not sure if it'll be covered. The teams have been known to get players replacement Super Bowl rings, so that might be where his unbotheredness comes from.
Well, this is a good lesson. Don't throw your ring in a pool full of chili.
But if there are 2 pools full of chili and you think your Super Bowl ring is in there, don't throw the pools away.
Don't throw the pools of chili away. That's right.
Seems like pretty simple. Like there's a finite area where that Super Bowl ring can be.
Yeah,
unless someone found it and walked off with it and claimed to have not found
it sounds like he just forgot that he put it in there, which that was the whole bit.
Yeah.
It was inside the pool of chili. I would say you could probably nip it in the bud and just say, don't put your Super Bowl ring in a bowl of chili.
Yeah, that's
although
a good rule.
I do appreciate the bit. I appreciate the bit of like Jason has to find his Super Bowl ring because he lost it.
We will not be doing that with my Iowa Western Championship rings.
No.
Notice I said rings, plural.
Josh is
because there are several.
Josh is not offering even one of his rings for this competition.
I have rings to lose.
And to be fair,
spare.
Jason also has that.
Well,
no, Jason only has one.
Yeah.
That's right. They suck. They didn't win. They didn't win against the Chiefs that year. People forget about that.
Many say they should have.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, if Michael Severe is listening, I know he was
Hi, Michael.
nearby. First of all, yes, hello. Second of all, this is a story about Wordle. So
muted.
An American Airlines passenger is dividing opinions online after she was filmed seeking vocabulary help for the New York Times game Wordle. The video was uploaded to TikTok, but it was uploaded to TikTok last year, but because the government is very slow, the TSA recently got a hold of it and posted it to Instagram and shared it out again and commented on it. When the camera zooms in, it is very apparent that the flyer is toggling between the New York Times Wordle app and website of recommended words to try to plug into the game. The clip's uploader, 35-year-old Alex, thought that this was dirty pool. And he said, as a Wordle player, I take the game more seriously than one should. I was shocked at what I was seeing. Thank goodness for 9x Zoom, the Floridian told People magazine this week. TSA shared the clip with the punny caption, would you consonantly be STRN over her shoulder too?
Okay.
Yeah. So then the internet went on to debate the merits of cheating in the game Wordle. To which I say, don't cheat.
It's a game that nobody cares if you win or lose.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself. You can do it. You'll get there. It might take you some time.
Also,
you'll get there.
Wordle is not timed to my recollection.
You get all day long.
Yeah,
Same thing with Immaculate Grid.
Yeah. Just
no reason to cheat.
Parse it out. Think about it. It's not you don't get bonus points for finishing quickly.
And you'll find, I think, this is the case for me, you'll find that it's actually more satisfying when you don't cheat. When you think about cheating, you're like, man, I could do this right now because it's right on the tip of my tongue. Just fight through that urge real quick, and then you'll find that it's in there somewhere. You just got to pull it out.
Great take by you.
Thank you, Josh.
And finally, we go to the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast for our final story. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No. I have not.
Do you remember when LeBron James made his famous decision?
Yes, 2010.
Yes. Many people thought he was going to the New York Knickerbockers.
Many did. Many also considered the Bulls.
Yes. Pablo Torre and his team of investigative journalists got their hands on the video that the New York Knicks played for LeBron James during their meeting.
Oh my God.
They had like X amount of minutes to try and woo LeBron James to the team. So the New York Knicks made a video.
Yeah, that was in the day where everybody was doing presentations.
Yep. Their presentation video was in the hands of Pablo Torre.
They did a good job at doing stuff like this in the Nike movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Oh yeah.
Air. Yeah. Yeah. They made such horrible videos. Like, watch our video. Maybe you want to come here.
This one is horrible.
My gosh, I haven't seen this. This is awesome.
It begins with James Gandolfini and Edie Falco playing Tony and Carmela Soprano in an epilogue of The Sopranos.
Oh my God.
Where Tony has a beard for some reason and talks about how, we gotta find a place for this LeBron James guy to live. Tony famously loved black people on the show The Sopranos, by the way. But that's besides the point. So Carmela is searching through real estate listings for a house for LeBron James, and she finds one that, it gets really loud, but it seems like a pretty cool place for him, and it's Madison Square Garden.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty terrible. James Gandolfini looks dead at the camera multiple times, which is what you're not supposed to do as an actor.
The Sopranos was over by then, right?
Yes, it was.
So they brought him out of retirement.
They did.
How close was he to dying at that point?
Good question.
Is that the last time he ever was Tony Soprano?
It was the last time he was ever Tony Soprano. He died in 2013, so not terribly long before his death, a few years.
Oh my God. So do they show the actual video in full on the pod?
They do. The whole video is about 10 minutes. They show it in clips, to kind of get you to listen to the whole pod, but
sure.
Right at the beginning of the Knicks video is the Sopranos part. And they do show that in its entirety. And my God,
wow!
I ask all of you to seek this video out if you're Sopranos fans.
Yeah, I'll be doing this. I'm not even a Sopranos fan, but I need a little slice of 2010 right now.
Just finished my 25th anniversary Sopranos rewatch this morning.
Oh, congratulations, Josh!
He's absolutely dead. Spoiler alert.
Was that a question on the last episode?
Yeah.
It was kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Okay. Still haven't watched that show.
Well,
sorry.
You've had 25 years.
Yeah, I guess I certainly could.
But maybe he's not now that I know that this video exists.
Theo writes in
Hi, Theo.
On Travis Kelce. He says Taylor can do so much better.
Great take by Theo.
I don't know. Travis seems like pretty good. He seems like a pretty good guy.
He seems like a dumb jock, but also, yes,
like a good guy. He's got a good heart.
Completely harmless. Yes. Unlike Gronk, who I think probably in college did some problematic things.
I think Travis probably did too.
Probably.
Yeah. Maybe Gronk's were more problematic.
Yeah.
That's all. All right. Thank you, Josh. That is the odd news. We all have homework for after the show. Yeah. And it is to find that video of LeBron being wooed to New York.
I will find it and push it out on the at Happer Show Twitter account, so you don't have to dig for it. That's rude of me to do.
Now, do you listen to this podcast and you were just this dropped into your lap?
I have not listened to this episode yet, but I saw the headline. It kept popping up because sometimes I see it and I'm like, okay, Pablo did something. That's just my feed. Nobody cares about that. But then I saw it on like news websites. And I'm like, okay, this might be worth me checking out, even though I haven't listened to the pod yet.
Okay.
Checked it out and was glad I did.
All right, good job. Coming back, it is time for the tweet bag. Still time. We'll open up the tweet bag here in just a couple minutes. $50 to Woodcliff Restaurant. He's on the line. Got a few in. Could use a few more. Back with that next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
My taco pie is really something special, and it can't be imitated. It starts with my zesty taco sauce, seasoned beef, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, mounds of cheddar, and mozzarella cheese. This pie is the real deal. For a limited time, build your own feast with the specialty pizza, like my taco pie, a one-topping pizza, and cinnamon monkey bread. Do yourself a favor and order. Today, Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Not too long ago, I heard Jensen Tire and Auto guarantees if you find a tire they carry advertised by a local competitor at a lower price, they'll match it. I'm always looking for a great deal, so I thought I'd see for myself. Try as I might, I couldn't find a better price than at Jensen. So I bought my tires there, and guess what? They had the tires I wanted at the right price, and they had me in and out in no time. Sure, I'll always be on the lookout for a great deal. And if I happen to find one, I'm bringing it to Jensen because I know they'll match it. Plus, I'll get their amazing customer service.
Hi, I'm Matt Jensen, president of Jensen Tire and Auto, inviting you to experience the difference at our locally owned and family-owned company. Check us out at jensentireandauto.com today.
Get ready for warm weather driving with April tire deals at Jensen. Save up to $200 on new sets of Goodyear, Cooper, General, Continental, Maxxis, and Kelly tires. Check out Jensen's Money Saver April tire deals at jensentireandauto.com today.
Welcome to this episode of RV Ready, brought to you by Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs. Outdoors?
Leach Camper Sales has a great website.
LeachCamper.com.
Folks can see what they want and then head out. Don't forget, the coffee's always on.
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I never smoked a cigarette. How in the hell did I get lung cancer?
I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So I started Googling. One word just kept coming up, like it was in bold and red, and it was radon.
Radon is the number 2 cause of lung cancer.
Well, you don't know if it's in your home. You got to test. You can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't smell it.
What's your level? Radon Defense Midwest can help. Visit radonradio.com for a special offer. That's radonradio.com.
Spring has arrived, and Lenahaw has everything you need to revitalize your landscape. The best shrubs, perennials, and freshly dug trees, all grown right here in Nebraska. Lenahaw Nurseries, your homegrown headquarters since 1974.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
LeBron and Steph working in the play-in tournament? That's right, and you can get on the action as well. John and Josh here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. The NBA play-in tournament giving the teams the chance to play their way into the postseason. So it only seems right that new customers on FanDuel can play their way into $150. Just place any $5 bet. You'll get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, to use during the entirety of the NBA playoffs.
John, whether it is the total, an over or an under, first basket, score, prop bets, and a whole lot more,
Again, just go to FanDuel.com/1620 and make the beginning of the NBA playoffs so enjoyable and rewarding for you. Again, FanDuel.com/1620, $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
This is the Tweet Bag. You send your questions in and we answer them. Like no other radio segment ever. It's the Tweet Bag on the Connor Happer Show.
All right, it's time for the Tweet Bag. First, before we get to the questions, I have a new entry into here's what's going on with our vending machines.
Great bit. That is actually not a bit. We're just using it for content.
Well, we have a couple entries into this already.
We do.
The price is going up, things like that. Also, the note on the snack vending machine that at one point said, please do not put pennies in here.
That's my all-time favorite.
I think that's a winner. This is approaching that territory when you really think about it. So there is a note on the pop vending machine that says, owes Amy 40 cents. Didn't take the dimes as payment and then didn't return them. It just says didn't take the dimes and didn't return them. All right. So that means what happened with Amy is that she put in 4 dimes. She tried 4 times.
4 times.
To put dimes into the machine, use them as payment. And it did not accept them once. It did not accept them twice. It did not accept them 3 times. And it did not accept them 4 times. 4 dimes were put into the machine before Amy realized that it wasn't going to be accepted.
Probably could have stopped at 2 or 3.
Probably. At least 2, definitely. Also, the note is suggesting that she is addressing the vending machine as if Amy is going to, at some point, get her 40 cents back, as if Amy needs the 40 cents.
Maybe Amy does need the 40 cents.
I don't know. Nobody needs 40 cents.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Does anyone need 40 cents?
I'd be willing to give you 40 cents right now, Josh.
Wow.
Wouldn't have any problem. Wouldn't have any problem doing so.
Money bags.
Does that make me rich?
Yeah, there's no cents key on the keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to type that out.
Wow. Anyway, that's what's going on with our vending machines today. Josh, now it's time for the tweet bag.
Yes, it is. You tweet us your nonsensical questions at Happer Show. We answer them. $50 to Woodcliff going to the best questions today. Let's begin with, can't say that. Oh, that's Jefferson Steelflex. Okay. Very risque, very risque name you have there, Jefferson Steelflex.
Nice.
Today.
Almost got Josh.
Uh-huh.
Josh, I would have liked to hear you say it.
I mean, maybe during the break I'll regale you. But...
Maybe during the break you can go ask Mark if you could say it one time.
One time. Have the ability to fly or invisibility. Hashtag tweetback.
I have to do some research on, like, if you're giving me the ability to fly, how fast can I go? Like, how fast can I get from here to Lincoln? How fast can I get from here to, like, the East Coast?
Okay.
Is it all the same? Is it like, do I have teleportation abilities, or do I just have the ability to, like, locally fly, like a drone or something like that? Or am I Superman, where I can literally fly to wherever I want to?
I had pictured something like a Superman, where you put your arms out and you're whisked away.
It's like, how long does it take me to get to North Carolina?
Good question.
Can I fly the same speed as a plane? Do I fly faster than a plane?
I don't think the human body could withstand that.
Okay, so I fly less fast than a plane?
Yeah. Right? Theoretically.
Well, I mean, this is a fake world where I have the ability to fly. I have, as you could tell, I have follow-ups.
Yeah. They're good follow-ups. You want to give a well thought out answer.
Thank you. No, because I really want to say fly off just immediately off the face of it, but I can't because I don't know the rules. Invisibility is pretty easy. Now, I guess the question with invisibility is that, can you walk through stuff like a ghost? Or do you still have to open doors and shut doors?
Ooh, okay.
To get through that.
Yeah, good follow-up.
These are my questions. I hate to ask so many follow-ups. Jefferson Steel, the artist formerly known as Jefferson Steel Flex. But I really need to know before I choose.
Who's that lady in your profile pic?
Eileen, that's Bobby Witt Jr.
His head.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Not the body? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not the body.
You're wondering whose body that is.
Yeah.
I lean towards flying, but if you answer me those questions, then I'll have a lot better idea.
I lean towards invisibility.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And what would you do with your invisibility, Josh?
Just generally not be bothered, which I love.
You do love that. Yeah, but there's doors. I mean, you can just shut doors.
Well, but then people are like, "Oh, Josh has his door shut. What a jackass. He doesn't want to be a part of our culture here at NRG Media."
You would you would become invisible so that you could leave the door open, but you're still going to be bothered by the noise.
It's true.
Theoretically, unless you have the ability to block all that out too. But theoretically, you're still going to be bothered by the noise. The people just won't be addressing you directly, which I think,
that's true.
I think is most of the deal anyway. With they're never bothering you; they're just generally bothering.
Yeah.
I don't know that
just loud.
I don't know that this helps you that much.
All the time.
I don't know if this helps you that much.
Mm-hmm. James has a follow-up. If Connor could fly like an airplane, would he be able to land himself?
Obviously, yes. If I could fly an airplane, which is not me, you don't think I have that much control over my own body? I know exactly what I'm doing.
We move on.
I want to answer that question real, but I don't have enough information. Sorry.
Goon tweets in.
Hello, Goon.
Who would win in a macro fight in the AL East?
What's a macro fight?
Like a big picture fight? Like, I assume this is like a fight amongst all of the mascots in the AL East, right? An Oriole, a Ray, a Blue Jay, a Yankee, a Red Sox.
Is that what he said? I don't know what that is. What's a macro fight?
That's what I'm assuming he means by macro fight.
So I've just Googled macro fight, and there's a lot of stuff about computers. Are we just talking about a big version of a fight between all of those teams, or are we talking about all their mascots? Let's go with your idea, Josh, and go with the mascots. So a Yankee is just a white guy. Probably wouldn't do too well, would be my guess. Against a Blue Jay, which is a bird.
Mm-hmm. An Oriole is also a bird.
Blue Jay versus Oriole is,
that's a push.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the Ray can't get out of the water.
That's true, but if those things go into the water, they probably win.
Yeah.
If you do it at the trop in the fish tank, then you got a chance. And then you have the Red Sox, which I don't feel like that would. Gosh, maybe the Yankee would win.
Yeah.
Maybe Yankee Doodle Dandy would actually come out with this.
I think so.
Wow. Shocking. But that is my answer.
Mm-hmm. Platcat tweets in.
Hello, Platcat.
What's the largest animal Happer could take down with his bare hands?
Like, I get to use the rest of my body. Like, just.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to go with the like you don't want too much power in there. I think you could wrestle. Like I think I could win a wrestling match with a. But the problem is like it's not about size, right? It's the bite. Right, like dogs and wolves are the same size, but I don't want to fight a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather fight a dog. Not that I want to fight a dog either.
Someone has commented an ostrich.
No. Too big.
But
way too big.
Slender neck. You could get your arm. You could tackle an ostrich.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
You could get your arms around that neck very easily and take it down.
Yeah, but the rest of its body is gigantic.
Well,
it's like a dinosaur. The only chance you would have against an ostrich is to like chop its legs off. Because skinny little legs.
Do they have teeth?
Ostriches?
Yeah.
I would imagine they have some sort of defense mechanism, yeah. No.
They do not have teeth.
Ostrich is too big. I don't think I would do well against an ostrich. I don't think they would fight me per se, but I also don't know that I could take it down. Like I just have to wear it out. And them, ostriches, they're fast.
They're not going to quit.
No, they're not going to quit. They got the heart of a champion. Chris in Montana says maybe like a deer or a calf. Yeah. They seem too fast, though. Am I in the room with them? Yeah. Deer seems, depending on, I guess, the size, but like if I'm thinking of a regular size deer, that also seems big. So like somewhere around the size of a dog. What's the size of a dog? It's got to have little short legs and not so fast that it escapes my grasp every 2 seconds.
An elderly dog.
An old dog, of course. Texture says the visual. This is Jason and Pender. I'm going to actually put Jason's name in here so he doesn't have to say it every time. All right, saved contact. The visual of you trying to tackle an ostrich makes me happy. Thank you. You are welcome.
Just got to swing your arms around that neck and.
Lee writes,
drop tackle.
Lee writes in, wolves and dogs are the same size. How small do you think a wolf is? What, like, how small do you think a dog is? I think of, like, when I think of a dog, when I think of stock dog, this is actually maybe a good poll question. When you think of dog,
yeah,
what do you think of? What kind of dog do you think of?
I think of a German Shepherd.
I think of a golden retriever.
Sure, yeah.
Same size, right? Wolves, I guess, probably are a little bigger than that. Not much, right? I don't think of a little wiener schnitzel.
I Googled how big is a wolf. Actually, I messed up and I Googled how big a wolf.
How big a wolf?
They measure up to 6 feet in length, including tail, and about 30 inches in height at the shoulder.
That's about the size of a dog.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. How small do you think a dog is, Lee? I ask you. I think I got it about right. Anyway, we continue on.
Dog. What's bigger?
Wolf or dog? Well, I mean, there's various types of sizes.
Yeah.
Sizes of dogs and wolves, right?
Wolves are larger than most dogs, but
Sure.
a few extra large breeds are bigger than wolves.
Sure.
For example, Great Danes are taller and heavier. Okay.
Yeah, once again, I think I got it right.
Douglas tweets in.
Hey, Douglas.
Will you watch more WNBA or any now that Caitlin Clark is with the Indiana Fever?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
I will end up watching the WNBA more now that she is in it. We got an email like more than 0, which is my current watching of the WNBA.
Okay.
Matt emailed in earlier.
Hi, Matt.
He said on Caitlin Clark, he says she'll make about $80,000 next year, and she made millions at Iowa. I know she'll still have her endorsements in the WNBA. This is an extreme case, but why wouldn't you go back to Iowa? play and make tons more money. NIL is crazy and amazing. If someone told you you are guaranteed $3 million next year, you could play in the WNBA and no one watches and ends up making $80,000, what do you do? So, Matt, like, I mean, first of all, the context in which it's Caitlin Clark is really important here. I was watching this morning, they tweeted out her introductory press conference just on Twitter, popped up on a Wednesday morning at 9:00 or whatever it was. 22,000 people were watching it. How many people do you think would watch that in regular times with not Caitlin Clark?
22. Maybe.
That would be the over-under. It would be close.
It would be George, who used to produce this show.
Yeah, exactly. It changes the entire game for the WNBA. Like, people are going to watch it now. I don't know if
there are ticket sales now that there weren't before.
Yeah.
Like it's $500 to go to the first game.
Her presence completely changes the entire thing. Mm-hmm. So like that's important context in this conversation. Also, I mean, she's going to still make a lot of money. Jake from State Farm is her best friend. So, what was the original question on the tweet bag about?
Will you watch more WNBA games?
Yeah, I'll watch more than 0 seconds. That's for sure.
And we'll definitely be watching Phoenix Mercury games here on the Connor Happer Show.
That's right.
Best friend Jess Shelley.
Well, I hope that because it's a grind to make the team. Like, so I hope she makes it for sure. But yes, if she does, then we'll be watching.
We press on. Kip.
Hello, Kip.
What is the best or most useful sports TV graphic? Some examples I thought of: first down line, field goal green line, shot tracer in golf, shot clock digitally on the court in basketball, baseball strike zone pitch location.
Okay, I can tell you what it's not. It's not that crap. K-Zone is the worst invention of all time.
Oh.
K-Zone ruined baseball.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. K-Zone is the worst thing.
I have terrible eyes. I need
I believe
K-Zone.
I believe that K-Zone led to the position that we're at right now, which is people asking there to be robot umpires.
I agree with that.
My answer is definitively the golf ball tracker.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like not even close. Obviously, the first down marker is huge, but you can still see it. I mean, the way that they position the actual orange markers on the field, for me, like you wouldn't be able to see the golf ball at all had it not had the tail behind it. That's my obvious answer.
I use the first down line in football most. But yeah,
because you watch more football than
the golf one I wouldn't be able to see.
No.
I like K-Zone not for yelling at umpires, but just because I have terrible eyes.
I hate K-Zone. I think K-Zone started us on this path that we're on, where everybody wants everything to be robots, and it frustrates me to no end. And I hate when they put it up on the. I hate back in the old days. Hated back in the old days when they would put it up on the screen. This is before any of the technology came into the game that we have right now. They would put it up on the screen, and you'd watch baseball with somebody, and they'd be like, "Hey, look, that was outside that line. That's a ball." And I'm like, "Well, it's just kind of a guess. Like, it's not exactly right." And you have to explain that to him. It's like, well, what why not? Like, I don't have time for this. Take the damn thing off the screen. I hated that. I hated that so much. And now it's just like a part of it's just there. And so I think that has done horrible things for that sport.
Okay.
But for me, it's the golf ball, the golf ball tail. For sure.
I guess we'll end with this, unless you got something over there.
Well, we get a lot of people talking about Caitlin Clark, and
okay.
We can get there. But go ahead, get to the last question.
Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Here's the scenario. Connor is on a plane with 3 other gentlemen. No matter what Connor tries, he's not landing the plane. It's going down. There are 3 parachutes available. Connor is in charge of distributing the parachutes. Connor has to use one of the parachutes for himself. So there are 2 parachutes.
For 3 people.
Who gets the other 2? Ryan Gosling, Billy Joel, or Bobby Witt Jr.? You got to let Billy Joel go, right?
Dude, what the hell?
He's asking, which one will you kill?
No, I know what he's asking.
For the audience.
He's asking me to kill Billy Joel.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling still has work left to do. Bobby Witt Jr. is the youngest. You got to save him. And he's probably bringing you the most joy right now, yes?
Yeah. Josh, I don't know. Maybe I'd give one up because I don't want to be the guy who didn't give a parachute to Billy Joel.
Oh yeah, that would get out absolutely.
Yeah, I mean Ryan Gosling, and Bobby would I'd have to make him sign NDAs, like OJ on his deathbed.
Now,
I don't want to be the guy who killed Billy Joel.
I'm not trying to poke fun at anyone's lifestyle here. Billy Joel has taken his life into his own hands many times before. So many would say it's lucky he's gotten to this point.
What are you talking about?
He likes to drive his own car home at the end of the night when he maybe shouldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's DUI guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know that. It's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Never meet your heroes, Connor.
Yeah, I guess it's that since he's the oldest one. Sorry. I feel really bad about that. I don't like that question, though. Anyway, back to Caitlin Clark. People have takes. We mentioned the word Caitlin Clark, and then all of a sudden the show came to life.
It's great for engagement.
It happens more times than you'd think. Adam writes in,
Hi, Adam.
Do these emailers not think that Caitlin Clark hasn't done the financial analysis between staying in college and going pro? I'm sure her team has analyzed it and came to the conclusion that she will make more money when she goes to the WNBA versus staying in college. Also, I got this from one of our esteemed guests of the show. Apparently, all the money that Caitlin Clark made at Iowa was from endorsements. She didn't take any collective dollars. So the make more at Iowa thing people always talk about just isn't real. Once again, she made only endorsements at Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Nah, guys. She's going to be all right. She's going to survive on that measly $76,000 salary in her first year. She's just like you and me. Well, not you and me, but, other people.
Other people who listen to this show.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, not us.
Good one from the 402. Connor, can you name 5 WNBA teams?
Oh, you can do this is easy.
All right,
Connor.
the LA Sparks.
Yes, 1.
The Las Vegas Aces.
That's 2.
The Phoenix Mercury.
That's 3.
The Indiana Fever.
That's 4.
The New York Liberty.
That's 5.
How many are there? 13? The Minnesota Lynx.
12. That's 6.
The Seattle Storm.
Yep.
Yeah.
7.
All right. I got 7. So screw you.
Atlanta Dream, Chicago Sky.
Chicago Sky. Knew about the Chicago Sky.
Connecticut Sun.
Connecticut Sun.
Washington Mystics.
Oh, I would not have got that one.
And the Dallas Wings.
Texter writes in, a former college pitcher doesn't like K-Zone. Imagine that. Jesse says, murder question should be the winner for sure. Awesome question. Cody says, Connor, not here to use actual metrics in baseball via the K-Zone and would instead use some 65-year-old guy's judgment on calls. No. Like, what the K-Zone is not like an exact science, or it certainly wasn't in like 2007 when they started introducing this thing. Yeah, they just put a box up there to make it easier for rubes.
It's like the first down line. Like it's not official.
Yeah, it's not official. It's not actually like
the umpire can't see that box.
They've done a better job now of adding the 3D part of the K-Zone, so you could tell where the plate actually is and how it crosses. Like if it catches just that backside, like there's like it didn't understand angles at first. It wasn't 3D. Now it is, and so it's a little bit better. And of course, we have ABS systems across minor league baseball, which include, various different camera angles to actually create a strike zone. And I'll tell you what, even that's not completely accurate.
Whoa.
All the time. It can be off. It can miss. So, yeah. But I do like when the 65-year-old guy, except for Angel Hernandez, not Angel Hernandez.
That guy's wrong.
That guy is bad and wrong all the time. He did another bad thing last night.
Should be fired.
Yep.
It's not racism to fire him.
No, but that's what he's going to make you think if you do fire him.
I say press forward.
I think he knows he's untouchable. The MLB won't do anything about him because he'll just sue him for racism.
I say take that lawsuit.
Yeah, you might win, actually. One more from Chris in Montana. He sends me a couple pictures here and says ostriches are actually very dangerous, and there's a couple guys who are getting chased by ostriches. I do not want to fight an ostrich.
Okay.
Nope, I just don't. Thanks for playing the tweet bag.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Do you want to fight an ostrich?
I absolutely do not want to fight an ostrich.
Or should I word it, do you think you could fight an ostrich?
Sure. Yes. Either of those. They're both fine.
Do you think you could fight
You think you
an
could
ostrich?
beat an ostrich in a fight? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
I certainly don't. Don't make it seem like I do. Don't tell the internet that I did this, Josh. This was not me.
Do you, like Connor, think you could beat up an ostrich?
All right, back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
She has left a mark on the college game that no one else can ever claim.
A big part of her story isn't that she went to Iowa and she didn't go to South Carolina. She didn't go to UConn. That was great for the sport.
The only time I'm watching is if one of the local teams is playing. She made you want to watch, but you also could sit there and appreciate the greatness and how she changed the way the game looked on the floor.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
The breeze calming down through your afternoon hours and some of the clouds shuffling back in. We'll eventually get to a high temperature near 70 degrees today, and then a chance of rain overnight tonight. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, the board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality, lowtusa.com.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Since 1972, family-owned and locally roasted Host Coffee Service has been roasting the finest coffee for businesses and restaurants. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Storm Chasers travel to Music City to take on the Nashville Sounds tonight. First pitch is scheduled for 6:35. Listen to the game on your home for Storm Chasers baseball. 1290 Coil.
Nominations for the Step Forward Awards are now open. These awards are the state's most prestigious awards for volunteerism, and we need your help to find outstanding volunteers from your region of the state. If you know a volunteer who deserves to be honored for their service, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Nominate Now. Made possible by sponsors like Omaha Public Power District. Nominations must be submitted by June 1st. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où? Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Like we said earlier, we're going to go inside the minds of a few of our sports heroes today. One of them is Reggie Miller.
Blocked me on Twitter.
Reggie Miller blocked you on Twitter?
Yeah, a long time ago. I don't know why.
Are you still?
Yeah. Good question. I got to be still, right?
Yeah, why don't you check that out real quick before we have this conversation so we know if you're going to be biased or not. I don't think there's any defending this, but I'd like to know.
Oh, yeah, I'm blocked.
Josh Odson. Blocked by Reggie Miller.
Can't follow or see Reggie Miller TNT's posts.
Well, you saw this, though, last night in the illustrious NBA play-in tournament, game 1 between the Lakers and the NOP, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Very prestigious.
The Lakers were winning, as they always do. Remember, they won the in-season tournament.
How many play-in games has Michael Jordan won? None.
That's what I thought. The Lakers were beating the Pelicans 108-106 with 2.7 seconds left, and they were sending their star unibrow man, Anthony Davis, to the free throw line. Remember the situation that I just gave you. 108-106. That is a 2-point lead.
2 point. Okay.
With 2.7 seconds left, and they're shooting 2 free throws. You get 2 of them automatically. There's no 1-on-1 here. You get 2 of them. That is the situation that Reggie Miller, who blocked Josh Odson, is setting up before the free throws. Here he is.
Here's things that you talk about on the bus as players. If he makes the first one, you're up 3. Do you try to purposely miss the second one, knowing that they don't have any timeouts? No timeouts. And they've got to go coast to coast, because as soon as you miss it, time is going to start as soon as it's touched. Or do you just make them both, be up 4, and game over? These are things that are discussed as teams.
Well, he laid it out perfect, Josh.
Or do you just win the game?
He laid it out perfect. I got to be honest with you. You know, sometimes you have thoughts that go through your head, and I'm sure Reggie's probably kicking himself today. He's like, damn.
Everyone's laughing at me.
You should have kept my mouth shut on that one. He laid it out perfectly. In my opinion, he answered his own question.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should I end the game or should I not end the game? It's pretty binary at that point, right? I mean, it's crazy. Guy's an NBA legend. He gets a microphone in front of his face and freaks out. By the way, these are not things that you talk about on the bus. These are not things that you talk about on the plane, because no one's ever discussed this before. You make both free throws to go up 4. In fact, like the games in New Orleans last night. So, and by the way, did he end up making both the free throws?
He did, yes.
Okay. So, you know what happens after he makes the second free throw? Everybody leaves because there's 2.7 seconds left and the game is literally over. You can't win at that point unless something, one of the dumbest sports mistakes of all time happens. So, yeah, Reggie, tough one. The Lakers, like you said, did go on and make both of the free throws, and that did prove to be the correct strategy.
Good job by the Lakers.
Good job by the Lakers. They finally executed one of these late game situations correctly.
That's right. Many have been on Darvin Ham this year. The Ham man.
By the way, let's go just one quick one before we go back to, or before we take a break here. Here's Douglas on the YouTube.
Hello, Douglas.
He says, tweetbag question should have been, how many WNBA games other than those including Caitlin Clark will you watch?
Oh,
well, I think what's going to happen is it's going to be more in a sports viewer's purview now. Like,
yeah,
it'll pop up on the highlights. It'll pop up on Twitter a little bit more. Like Caitlin Clark going to the that doesn't mean I'm going to watch a whole bunch of WNBA games like in their entirety, but I'm going to be aware of it a lot more now. So
Aces Liberty, sign me up.
Yeah.
Budding rivalry.
Yeah, people will be aware of it more now, and I think that's the point. Like spreading awareness of the league. No doubt about it. And she'll be still very rich.
Yes.
She'll make a lot of money because, once again, she's best friends with Jake from State Farm.
Which pays. He pays for friends.
He does. He really does. That's what we should get after him about. Coming back, we'll talk about. I actually want to play a clip from Matt Rule yesterday. You know Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
I also like to talk about Coach Prime still during this show.
Coach Prime update.
But also while we're on the NBA, the Warriors. Hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. It's all over. Say goodnight.
It's fun while it lasted.
Yep. A dynasty, a franchise that's had a lot of success over the last decade with a lot of notable players and iterations. I mean, it's been generally the same core. Additions and subtractions have come along the way. But yeah, they sucked this year, and they clawed their way into a play-in game where they got drilled by the average Sacramento Kings last night. They're done. Say goodbye. Klay Thompson scored 5 points. People
he
forget
went
about
0
that.
for 10, so we can laugh at him.
That's right. Just like we did Delano Banton.
Yes, to show everyone that it was not a Nebraska thing.
Klay
Thompson 0 for 10.
Yes, agreed. But they're done. Say goodbye.
They're done. They're dead. They knew it last night too.
They sure did.
Those post-game clips were sad. Sad to watch.
It's just time for Draymond's podcast. That's all they have left. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
Forget the drive to Colorado or Missouri. Stop into any Omaha 42 Degrees and indulge in a curated cannabis experience. Premium flower, cannabis, pre-rolls, and cannabis accessories paired with an elevated customer service experience. All are waiting for you at 42 Degrees. From novices to connoisseurs, we're here to elevate your cannabis journey. 42 Degrees, your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is John Bishop. Since the day I got my driver's license, I've had a check next to the organ and tissue donor box. It's a selfless gift because healthy organ donors can save up to 8 lives. And with tissue donation, dozens more can get the gift of sight, and burn victims can get life-changing skin grafts. Anybody can register, and there's no cost to you or your family. Check that organ donor box next time you renew your license, or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ and tissue donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor, and Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
I just came up on one of my memories here. Memories. So, well, today's not the exact day. I guess today's just the day the picture was posted. So it would have been 12 years and a couple days ago today that Nebraska's spring game got canceled because of storms.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Jim Cantori was in town. So there's a picture of me. The Weather Channel had a camera guy go out and do man on the street stuff. So here's me hanging out with the guy with the Weather Channel microphone in my hand.
You.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can put this on the stream. There's me and the guy.
Look at all that hair.
Yeah, I know. That's the most amazing part
Look
of
at
it.
all that promise. It looks like Jim Harbaugh is working for the Weather Channel.
Look at how long my khaki shorts were.
That's how they were wearing them, and those socks
Dude,
were
2012 was happening. Yep. I thought I looked really good that day, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. That was a long time ago. And then it was, the next year or 2 years later where Bo brought out the cat.
That's right, yeah.
A lot of memorable spring games. What will be the memorable part of the spring game this year? I guess the year after they got canceled was the Jack run, right? And then it was the Bo Cat. And then every other game since then has been completely unmemorable.
Oh no.
Well, I guess I do remember Nebraska turning it over so many times last year, and we were all like, it's a spring game. I'm going to be watching for that one this year. By the way, you're on notice. Don't turn that thing over during the spring game because I'm holding it against you all summer.
Dylon 80-yard bomb on the opening play.
If Dylon throws a 80-yard pick on the first play, we're going to have problems all summer long.
Yeah.
I'm taking some of that stuff seriously. Maybe they do the Nebraska Spring League. They have split into 3 teams or whatever, and it's like the Rattlesnake Boys and the whatever and the whatever. Maybe they do something involved with that at this year's spring game. Maybe Joey Chestnut shows up and eats hot dogs.
Now there's an idea.
Yeah. Lane already took it, though.
And it almost killed Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, Joey Chestnut choked on a wet bun.
An American hero.
That would have been horrible. It would have been horrible because so many people would have had to say wet bun when reading the news. I like saying it. It's kind of funny for me. But for news anchors, they do not like saying wet bun.
Poll question: do news anchors like saying wet bun?
Quote, wet bun? No chance. They get super uncomfortable. For me, it's perfect. I'll say wet bun all day long. All right, so speaking of Matt Rule, let's go to Matt Rule from yesterday. He spoke after practice about a variety of different things, including which the state of the transfer portal. The portal is open. Matt Rule seems to be indifferent. I'll tell you what, I like basically everything about this quote. We'll talk about it in a second. Here's Rule.
Yeah, I think if anybody on our team wants to go in the portal, it's open today. That's their right. Obviously no one has yet. I don't anticipate anybody going in. When we get done with spring, we'll have a couple days to see if something's best for them. Our guys are really transparent. We've had players on our team already have people from other teams contact them, come in, walk in, say, Coach, look at this, show us a text message, show us this. It's a sad state of college football when, but the problem's not the players. Let me start there. The problem's not the players. So, I love our guys. I want everyone to be here, but I also want them, we had guys transferred to other places last year. I've talked to their coaches. I've talked to them, how they doing. And once you played for me, you played for me for life. So, maybe it's a unique challenge in terms of, some guys but we're pretty transparent with our guys. Like if they want to come talk to us, we're here to talk to them. I ask the coaches after scrimmages to meet with guys one-on-one. I'm always available. So I just don't think it's really prudent. And maybe this is Pollyannish, but I don't think it's prudent for me to coach guys thinking about the portal, because the worst thing you can ever do for a young person is not have high standards for them and not push them to greatness. So if you're afraid of pushing them because they might go to the portal, then probably don't have the right guy anyway. So, I'm sure things will happen, good, bad, but we're just going to coach the guys, try to get the team better, and pour everything we have into our players, both on the field, off the field, and personally. And, if something happens, it happens.
They, I don't know. That might seem boilerplate to you guys. I think that's just another example of Matt Rule. He's not just saying, people always say, he's saying all the right things. He's saying all the right things. Okay, he is. But what is he, to me, my takeaway of that quote is his projection of how confident and comfortable he is with his own organization, that projecting the idea that it doesn't matter who jumps in, it doesn't matter who we get out of the portal, and whoever is on our roster, whatever happens with that, we are going to be this. Here are the staples that you can expect of Nebraska football. And it doesn't depend on any one player. It doesn't depend on any one coach. As we talked about before, the idea, when Rule said, hey, if Tony White leaves, you got to understand this. We've always been good at defense everywhere we've been. And so I think part of it is getting Nebraska fans out of the habit of doing that piece of it, putting all of your hopes and dreams behind one specific person. We have been guilty of that over the years. And Matt Rule has been the calming voice this entire time. And he says to us, look, there might be a surprise or two. Who knows? There might be some guys who go into the portal, and we're going to help them. If they want to leave, then we'll get them a spot. If they don't want to stick it out, they don't want to stick it out. Great. That just gives another guy an opportunity, because every other guy on this roster, regardless of if he's, higher or lower on the depth chart than the guy who left, has already met the standard, right? In order to play here, you have to go through a rigorous amount of things in order to actually be on the roster. So you've already met that standard to a certain degree. So like he said it in the past, and obviously there's really good players, there's average players, there's some players that shouldn't be out there. And Matt Rule's job is to find the best guys to put out there. But at the same time, I think you could feel confident that the operation is really solid. But more specifically, I appreciate his confidence and self-awareness of what they're trying to do, who they're trying to be, and just their program in general. Yeah. Because that's a very calming thing. I said, fans look at this stuff, it's we lost another one of our running backs. What are we going to do now? We lost another one of our wide receivers. What are we going to do now? Are we dead? Are we not? Are we back? Or are we not back? We look at it so linearly, so binary. And it's no, Matt Rule's trying to tell you exactly the opposite of that. It is not about any one guy. And by the way, all that's, he's setting the stage and the scene for all of that. And guess what? It hasn't actually happened. Nobody that you care about has even gone into the portal yet. And maybe nobody will. But he's laying that groundwork, and he's saying, all right, if it does happen, here's how you should react. If we do get a guy, here's how you should react. Don't take his calmness about it for inactivity in the portal, trying to recruit guys. They work hard, unlike some coaches. One of the first things he said in that quote, Josh, was, we work hard, or maybe it was actually in the Bus podcast. He was like, we work hard in recruiting. And I'm like, ooh, you guys freaked out last year when you thought he was calling out Deion Sanders. That kind of felt like he was calling out Deion Sanders, especially coming off of, his players asking to slide the DMs on Twitter if you're in the portal. Give me a break. They work hard. So you have confidence in that they work hard. And they have a good understanding of what they're doing, and they have done it before. He is such a calming presence for this fan base. You almost have no choice but to trust him, because he's going to do it, whatever he thinks is best. And everybody in the program has that thing. I really appreciate that from him. I really do.
He is a man that you can tell is super comfortable with everyone behind him's level of give a darn.
Yeah.
Like I know what I've got in my locker room. I know that everyone is moving towards the same goal. And
well, he's got it right. Like
yeah.
the idea is not, he said it in that quote. It's like, not how much can we throw at guys in the NIL market, and how much do our, like, I always talk about this with baseball. You know, people think they want to see home runs and strikeouts. People think they want to see guys throw 100 miles an hour and hit 500-foot home runs. But what they actually want is people running the bases and the ball being in play and action, plays at the plate, stolen bases, stuff like that. Like, I really believe that.
I don't know. I watched Jack Caglione last night.
That went very far. But then you know what? There was like a 4-minute stop in action because they had to go find the baseball. It was 6 miles away. So like that's what I always say for baseball. But he has a good idea about the human condition as well. He goes, like, we talk about NIL all the time. It's the thing that, that the college football universe kind of circles around at this point. But what kids really want, yes, they would appreciate a little money on the side. It's nice. But what kids really want is to go somewhere and know that they're going to leave a better person and a better player. When you come here, you are going to get developed, and it's going to be hard. That's what's going to happen, though. But guaranteed, it's going to happen. We talked about it with Creighton and McDermott a couple weeks ago when we brought up the idea of development. I can name very few guys. I can name very few guys that have gone through that program and have not gotten better. Whether they left after their freshman year, they were a bench guy and they went and played somebody somewhere else because they realized that they weren't cut out for that level, or they were the 3-year, 4-year developmental guy. Like, look at Kalkbrenner and Trey Alexander. Those are just a couple examples, but there's so many. It's hard to be in that program and not get better. And it's going to be the same thing at Nebraska. It's hard to be in that program and not get better. That's ultimately what you want. Kids want to play football. They want to get better at football. They think they want money. They think they want all this. And so he has enough confidence to say that out loud and say, hey, look, if we get some guys that want to leave and go into the portal and they're getting offered all this crap from other schools, then, like, great. They probably weren't here for the right thing in the first place. The culture is taking a hold. Right? Like, the culture has a grasp on the program at this point. And I have sensed an air almost of comfort from Rule during this spring ball, in that, I think that's natural because last year during spring ball and last year during fall camp, you're doing all these things and they're new. You're experiencing the first blank with Matt Rule, the first game, the first practice, the first mat drills, the first whatever, the first summer deal. Like, you had to go through that one time. But he's got most of his roster back. He had experienced guys last year. And now I think Matt Rule gets to kind of chill out a little bit. He gets to kind of chill out a little bit.
Little bit of an exhale.
Last year, I got the sense that last year, in the situation that he was in last year, the culture setting that piece of it, he really likes that. He really likes getting down and dirty. He likes being in it every single day, but it's hard work. I don't think he has to do that as much this year. I think he can let his coaches coach. I think he can let his players play. I think he can let his players lead. They know what they're doing. They can let them have fun. They don't have to watch how they're doing from a mental perspective all the time. That's yet to be seen, by the way, and how that proves itself out during a football game. But yeah, I think it's just a program that gives off the air right now of confidence and comfort. They walk into the place and they know what they're doing. And I'm telling you, it, like, people get triggered about the whole Creighton thing. Like, I think, and once again, we talked about I talked about the idea of doing the local coach trust rankings. But, you watch Creighton men's basketball go about their business. They are confident. They are comfortable. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly where they're going. They know how much work they have to put in. That is a confident chin-up program. And They walk around and they own that all the time. I think Nebraska football is on that path. And I trust both of their coaches a lot at this point. Max has been around longer, so I probably trust him more. But Rule gets it. He really does.
Sure seems like it.
That's my read on the situation. I feel good about it. All right, quick break. We'll come back. Any comments on that? We'll take them on the other side, and still more to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, a reminder, this week's Zone Deal is to the Woodcliff Restaurant, voted Omaha's best outdoor patio, perfect for a romantic dinner for two or a family dinner. Enjoy all of Woodcliff's delicious food with a perfect view of Woodcliff Lake. Don't miss Thursday's weekly burger special or Friday's fish special. This week on the Zone Deal, get two $25 gift vouchers, which is a $50 value, for just $25. On sale Friday at 9 on our website, 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, offers exterior solutions that help you protect your number one investment. Whether it's roofing and siding or windows and doors, they're committed to excellence, quality, and outstanding customer service in every step of the process. When it's time to protect the exterior of your home, your choice is simple. Turn to who the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Check them out online and schedule a free estimate today. J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
When I heard the words, "you have breast cancer," I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do. My OBGYN called me and said, I know exactly what we're going to do, which led me to Nebraska Cancer Specialists. From day one, I felt that I was at the right place. There were some pretty rough times, but together we are stronger and they are there for you. You do not feel that you are alone.
NebraskaCancer.com.
Omaha Maverick baseball and softball are on fire. Baseball has won their last 3 conference series and lead the Summit League in conference wins, while Maverick softball has won 20 of their last 22 games. This weekend at Maverick Park, baseball takes on Northern Colorado, and Maverick softball plays Kansas City. Baseball Friday night is $4 Fridays when soft drinks, beer, popcorn, hot dogs, and brats are all $4. Get your tickets for baseball and softball by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tickets.
You're sitting with a couple of pals at Backlot Tap House in Exarban Village when your server brings up this perfectly cooked smash burger. The smell of a juicy beef patty sends a waft of aroma right up your nose, and your eyes instinctively close because, well, awesomeness. Your friends get their orders, and you just kind of look at each other and think, yeah, this is going to be good. Backlot Tap House with 30 beers on tap, happy hour every day, trivia nights, live music, and more. Exarban Village and BacklotTapHouse.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Baseball season is here again, and Tickets for Less has another reason for you to root for the Royals all season long. When Kansas City scores 7 or more runs in a game this season, you can get 7% off your next ticket purchase at ticketsforless.com. Simply use the promo code Royals 7 at checkout the day after the Royals score 7 or more runs to redeem your discount. But be sure to act fast. The code will expire at the first pitch of the next scheduled Royals game. Learn more today at ticketsforless.com/Royals.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
The Royals about to start game one of their doubleheader today. They'll face another person making their big league debut. It's a guy whose name is Cannon.
Cannon?
Yeah, Jonathan Cannon.
He's a pitcher named Cannon?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, if it goes anything like the other night, the Royals won't be able to get a hit for a few innings, and then Vinny Pasquantino will hit a home run, and the White Sox will get 0. You could just depend on the White Sox to get 0.
It's happened 6 times already this year.
Do you know how many runs per game the Chicago White Sox are averaging at this point?
Oh, wow. Great question. They've played. Can you tell me how many games they've played?
They've played 16 games now because they're 2-14.
Okay. Well, they've been shut out in 6 of those.
Yep.
I will say 1.5.
The Chicago White Sox are averaging in a Major League Baseball game. And I'll give you context here too. So actually, before I tell you what the number is, do you know how many of the Atlanta Braves are averaging a game at this point?
I will say 6.
6.4.
Okay.
They're first in Major League Baseball.
That's right.
Milwaukee's over 6. The other members of the top 10 are all above 5.
Okay.
Kansas City, by the way, is in that top 10. But the bulk of the league is in the 5 or 4 range. The Chicago White Sox are averaging 2.13 runs per game.
Oof. That's bad.
I mean, they're checking all the boxes of potentially being one of the worst teams of all time. And the Oakland A's exist.
That's right.
Now, the thing that's happened to the White Sox is they already weren't trying, and then they got beat up. Then all their best players got hurt. And they're going to be hurt for a long period of time, it seems. So, yeah. 2-14 actually is probably about on par for what they're going to be this year.
Update from Houston. On the first pitch of the game, Ronald Acuna Jr. got a hit to shallow center.
Who's that?
Ronald Acuna Jr.?
Yeah.
He's the NL MVP.
Yeah. You want me to split screen this? Are you watching it on your computer?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay. So
Can't you see the graphic? Watching the Braves game.
Oh, I guess I haven't checked our YouTube in a second. There you go.
Watching the Braves game.
Josh is watching the Braves. Well, put one up for me that says watching the Royals game. Should we do like a YouTuber and just sit here and watch games?
What's up, brother?
Josh found out more information about that guy.
He was at the Braves Astros game last night.
There you go.
This guy's infecting my life, and I didn't want him to.
I'm telling you, man, he's everywhere.
I didn't know who he was a week ago.
You know who's not everywhere? Coach Prime. In fact, where is he? He's nowhere, actually.
Well, stuck in Boulder.
So, first of all, Coach Prime is back in the notable the news landscape here not necessarily news, but the portal has opened up, and we know how Coach Prime is packing his bags and they Louis. So are his players. They're all leaving him, including
leaving.
Yes. People aren't coming to him anymore. They're leaving him. One of his guys, former 5-star, explosive defensive back Cormani McLean, who has jumped into the transfer portal. A couple of offensive linemen over the last day or two since the portal has been open. And then come to find out, because this was publicly shared by everybody, like, just have a little bit of shame, guys, first of all. But they are pointing all of the people into the portal. If you play offense, you have to DM Shedeur Sanders. If you play defense, it's time to DM Shiloh Sanders. And that's how you take the initial steps if you are anyone in the portal and you'd like to play for the Colorado Buffaloes. I said it before many times. I'll say it again. This is a low effort, low energy program with a coach who has self-admitted that he doesn't, like, he could have it either way. Like, he wants to win, but this isn't everything to him,
Someone's always going to take a flyer on Deion Sanders.
If they fire him, what's lost for him? He don't care.
Yeah.
Like, he don't care. And by the way, they won't. But I believe, and so the new thing here for me is this. I think Colorado is soon going to have to confront the aftermath of Deion Sanders. I've never been more sure that he's gone the second his kids are gone. I've never been more sure.
I agree with this.
And especially if it doesn't go well this year, which it won't. And I don't even know what is well, like we can't view this in a lens that in the same lens that we view every other college football program. Like, oh, okay, so they won 4 games last year. They won 4 games last year. If they get to 6 this year, that'd be good. No, this was built to win immediately. That was the whole point. It was supposed to be this drug that just went through your veins immediately, and you flip the switch to win football games right away. There is no chance that Deion Sanders is sticking around for the hangover of that drug going through his veins. Like, it's not happening. When his kids leave, which is next year, and he's already picked which NFL teams they're going to play for, he's gone. I've never been more sure. I think this will be Deion Sanders' last year at Colorado. I think this is it.
He's going to want to watch and train his kids. He's going to I need to focus on the kids as they get ready for their NFL career. I'm going to leave and go help them with that.
Yeah, he'll say whatever it is. I mean, he'll take no responsibility, of course, for what will be a complete disaster in the aftermath of him leaving Colorado. Because they'll have no, he'll be like John Calipari without being, his replacement will be with like John Calipari without being John Calipari. Mm-hmm. He'll be like, I talked to the team. There was no team. There won't be a team. And they'll be in a new conference where they don't have any familiarity with anybody and they have no success. And they still are living in the aftermath of whatever happened at Colorado this coming year.
Mock Pope ain't walking through that door.
There is no mock Pope. From the text line, hadn't Colorado lost quite a few other important guys to the portal in the last couple of days too? Yeah, a couple offensive linemen. Cormani McLean is that guy's a blue chip recruit. He has a chance to be a really, really good player. But like even if they go 6-6 this year, this is my point. Even if they go 6-6 this year and they make a bowl game, like the message that comes out from him afterwards is not going to be, see, look, we're getting better. We're linearly building and like this has never been about building. You set the bar, you set the standards for yourself. You have to win big.
It was supposed to be the shortcut.
It was supposed to be the shortcut. Like I said, the drug that just enters your system. It's the Limitless pill, right? I love that movie with Bradley Cooper's. I love that movie. And so you take the pill, and then all of a sudden you get better. You get better. Well, the pill hasn't worked, and now you're out of pills. And like I said, he's not sticking around for the hangover. Remember when Bradley Cooper ran out of the pills? It didn't turn out well for him. It got really bad. He's not sticking around for it.
Not to be confused with Bradley Cooper's movie, The Hangover.
That's true as well. There were some drugs in that movie too.
There were.
Yeah. I have never been more convinced. I hope Buff Josh is listening right now and he's taking notes on all of this.
But
because he knows in his heart that I'm right.
But Connor, Colorado beat Nebraska last
year. I had heard something about that, Josh.
Doesn't that mean they're better than Nebraska?
See, here's the thing. Matt Rule, if they go 6-6 this year, which I'd be a little bit disappointed. But if they go 6-6 this year, he could be like, "Yep, we're getting there." Even though, like I said, I would be a little bit disappointed with 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
But because he said it from the very start, he was like, "We're going to build. We're going to win." I didn't, I'm paraphrasing all this. Like he gave off the idea that like we're going to win, but we are going to build. It's going to take some time. Look at what I've done at these other schools. And Coach Prime said, "Nope, we coming." He said, "We coming."
He did.
I don't think they're coming, Josh.
I mean,
I do not. I'm ready to say that I do not think they're coming.
They've got two really good players at the top, but what else do they have?
I mean, do they? Like, is Shedeur Sanders so much better than everybody else at that position that he elevates the program that much? My answer is hell no. Like, I think he's good. I think he's a fine player. I don't think he's an elevator. I think he could be a really, really good quarterback with the right people around him and the right setup. Like, I think he's a good distributor. I think he gets the ball out on time and he can make all the requisite throws. Like, he could be a good college quarterback. I don't think he has anywhere close to the apparatus around him needed to have success. I think he's got an offensive line. He's got no run game. He's got Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
He's got Travis Hunter. So, like,
and coach using those two as like mini Pied Pipers is just insane.
We have these guys. They will save you. It's like, yeah, they're fine. They're certainly probably. I mean, I'll say this: they're probably the best two. They're 2 out of 3 best players at Colorado.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
with Travis. What if Travis jumped into the portal?
Whoa!
Do you think Deion would just quit? Do you think he would just leave right on the spot? No. He's like a son to me. The Heisman's waiting at his crib.
He'd burn him.
He's like, oh, he didn't want to be here.
He didn't want to be here. That's loser talk. It's loser mentality.
Chris in Montana says losing
losers. 8
of their last 9 is not good for their NIL. I'd be surprised they even have any money to pay Deion's salary. No wonder certain players are leaving. Probably not a whole lot of money in the NIL coffers after losing 8 of their last 9. Yeah, it was never really about NIL for them either. Like, they remember what the conversation was with them last summer. Like, Deion is writing all of these checks. Like, I'm talking about figuratively, not from an NIL perspective. He's figuratively writing all these checks. Like, we're going to get really good players. And then what happened? They got really good players to visit, and they got really good players to get on the verge of committing. And then they realized that they were competing in the space where everybody is offering a lot of money from an NIL perspective, and they realized they couldn't compete there. I don't think that was ever there for them. I don't think that piece was. It was always going to be on the blind faith that Deion could work. Not NIL, not because of Colorado. It was always going to be, if they got players, it was always going to be on the blind faith that Deion Sanders could work. And I think people have, learned the truth, I guess, a little bit this year. Jeff writes in. He says, people forget he said they ain't coming no more. They're here after they beat TCU. That is true. I forgot about that. I didn't like that day. And then I also didn't like what happened 7 days later. Joe writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Joe.
He says, living very, very close to Boulder, The diehard CU fans are still 100% on the Deion bandwagon. Just sure they're going to beat Nebraska. They are sure they're going to beat Nebraska and win 8 to 10 games. Whew. I don't know. Hard for me to imagine.
You should have a roster by now.
The only reason they were what they were last year is because of the buzz. They have no buzz. Right? It's still
buzz.
A program that was built on buzz and hype.
No surprise factor. What they're going to trot out there.
It's not like out of the lack of the buzz, they have substance now. They've lost good players. They've gained some players. But once again, this was never about a build. I don't get a sense that they're a year further down the road in the build. I think they just put together another team, and they're in the same spot they were last year, just without the hype, without the buzz, because we saw how it ended last year. One more from Adam before we take a break.
Hi, Adam.
He says, couldn't agree more. Deion keeps talking about doing what is best for his kids, training them, getting them to the NFL, et cetera. In reality, he's hampering his son. If he had his son's best interest in mind, he'd have him transfer to a real program and get development. Deion should step back and get out of his way. Send him to USC or something and let a real quarterback coach and staff work with him and put a good program around him. USC might be a bad example, but you get my point. Yeah, like I said, I mean, Shedeur is, I think he's a fine quarterback, like a fine quarterback. But there's no way he could elevate Colorado to the point that, he's not that important. He's not that much talented than everybody else to where he could elevate them to that point. That's the idea. All right, quick time out here. But what happened on the phone, Josh? Was somebody yelling at me?
No.
Okay.
Just a little one-liner.
Okay. Oh, what was it?
Mike called in, said he changed the name of Colorado to 2CU, Second Chance U.
Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you, caller Mike. Appreciate that. We'll be back with more next on 1620 The Zone. But first, more NBA play-in games tonight. And they give teams the chance to play their way into the postseason, just like the Heat, Sixers, Hawks, and Bulls will have tonight. So it only seems right that you, new customer of the FanDuel Sportsbook, that's right, you can play your way into $150. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, to use during the rest of the NBA playoffs. Wow, the White Sox are bad. Heat, Sixers, Hawks, Bulls tonight. So you can bet on that Heat culture if you'd like to. Pick any player props, first basket maker, over under totals, point spreads, anything in between. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer and get started. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
Yu Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620, The Zone.
What a mess.
You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 The Email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
The breeze calming down through your afternoon hours and some of the clouds shuffling back in. We'll eventually get to a high temperature near 70 degrees today and then a chance of rain overnight tonight. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we want you to have the best car buying experience possible. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group or at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Lula Bee's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar is downtown Omaha's go-to spot for great food with a Mexican flair. Lula Bee's has everything from French toast and omelets to shrimp tacos and burgers. There's even a full bar with uniquely inspired spring fling cocktails. Want to have a party? Lula Bee's has a party room that seats up to 65 of your favorite people with custom catering available. Book for graduation parties, family events, bridal celebrations, or just brunch with all your friends. Lula Bee's, 9th and Dodge, or at lulabeesomaha.com.
Before Clayton Anderson became a NASA astronaut, he was a public school student in Ashland, Nebraska.
As an astronaut, flying over Ashland for the first time on the space station, all I could think of was the public school system and the people, the family, the friends who made me the human that I am today. And I thought of Alice Rakes, my science teacher who taught me to question everything and to love the scientific method. I owe it all to those people who helped me get there.
Tell us why you're public school proud at publicschoolproudnebraska.org.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Nebraska Basketball has officially added Gavin Griffiths to the 2024-2025 roster.
Welcome, Gavin.
Gavin, say his last name.
Griffiths.
That's right. It's gonna be then you got Raleigh Worcester. So somebody tweeted out Raleigh's full name today.
Oh. More than meets the eye.
I gotta find that tweet. No, his real name is not Raleigh. That's just a middle name.
That's just what we call him.
That's just what we call him because it's easier. Gosh. I don't know who did that earlier, but his name isn't Raleigh. Anyway, both of those players are in the boat for Nebraska basketball. Griffiths was a top 50 recruit coming out of high school. Played last year at the Gers. Fred Hoiberg says Gavin is an elite shooter with deep range. Don't do this, but poll question, theoretically, do elite three-point shooters shoot 28%?
Probably not.
There goes Happer again, pooping all over Nebraska basketball. Yeah, I think this is a depth, hopefully, I guess, a depth piece for Nebraska playing a year. Now, he did have 9 games with multiple three-pointers, including making 4 against Wisconsin.
Ooh, multiple.
Yes, multiple three-pointers. He played in all 32 games for Rutgers, averaging 5.8 points per game and 2.2 rebounds. He was second on the team. Oh man, I gotta pull some stats up here real quick. Let's go to my little KenPom. I thought we put my little KenPom away for the year, but
KenPom season is year round, baby.
So he was second on the team in made 3-pointers. We're talking about Gavin
Griffiths
with 31. He shot 28% from 3. Andre Hyatt made 49. He shot 31%. Rutgers only had one player shoot better than that from 3-point range who had more than 20 attempts. Noah Fernandez. Didn't he transfer somewhere else too? I feel like I'd heard that name.
Everyone from Rutgers transferred.
Everybody from Rutgers transferred. So I remind you that Rutgers he did have the second most made three-pointers on the team last year, but Rutgers was also 350th in the country in three-point shooting. Gavin was just a little bit under Rutgers team percentage. Just a little bit under Rutgers team percentage from three-point shooting range. So he basically just like paced them. They're gonna have a bunch of different players next year, would be my guess.
Rutgers?
Yes.
Yeah, they're bringing in those 5 stars.
Yes, correct. They're bringing in the 5 stars.
Griffiths. Watch out for Rutgers.
I mean, not everybody's a 5-star, but Griffiths was a consensus top 50 and a 4-star last year.
Wow.
His father, Larry, is a member of the Hartford College Hall of Fame.
Oh, hello.
And his mother, Karen, played at Hartford from 1998. Well, I would assume 1988 to 1992. But it says 1998 to 1992. That seems like it's impossible from Karen Griffiths, who is not a time traveler. Time traveling Karen Griffiths.
Poll question: is Karen Griffiths a time traveler?
Yeah, well, maybe not.
Okay.
But a couple interesting, like, once again, I go back to the main point for Nebraska. Like, I'm not blown away by these guys. I'm not blown away by their additions in the transfer portal so far. But that's really okay. Once again, I think this is about kind of raising the floor. And Nebraska has a pretty good idea of what to expect out of its team. Hopefully get to the bubble-ish of the NCAA tournament, and then you kind of go from there. I wanted to go back to Raleigh. I always forget his last name. Raleigh
Worcester.
Worcester. So he played his freshman year at Utah State. That was a team that went to the NCAA tournament. And Raleigh Worcester ended up getting basically sharing minutes at one of the guard spots with another freshman on that team.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Stephen Ashworth.
AARP zone Stephen Ashworth.
Stephen Ashworth, yes. That's exactly right. Who no word on him yet of whether he's coming back to school, but I would assume that he is. By the way, quiet on the Creighton front.
I wanted to ask you about that today. That's good, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I kind of thought they'd be a little bit more aggressive considering the holes that are supposed to be. I mean, like, you definitely need a Baylor Shireman type of replacement. Like, you need to get a pretty good guy.
Okay, that's true.
Like, you're without Baylor Shireman. You need probably a little bit more shooting. Farabello's gone. Like, I still assume that Trey's gone. And I think you have to assume that Kalk's gone too. That might not be the case. Obviously, they're not going to know those things for another almost 2 months now. But I think it's been a little surprisingly quiet on the Creighton front. Surprisingly quiet. They've been bringing guys in for visits and stuff like that. I know they were looking at the kid from one of the MAC schools, and then they were in on Zeke Mayo at first as well. So like it hasn't been nothing for them. But I guess I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't gained a little bit more traction with some guys out of the portal so far. Haven't heard their name popped up a lot on a lot of guys' lists. So
gotta go get you a dude.
Yeah, maybe you're waiting. Maybe there's a better chance of them getting Trey and Kalk back than they think there is. But I don't know how they can know at this point. Like, they just simply don't know. Because they're going to go through the draft process, and then you got to make a decision after that. And you can only know after you have a pretty good understanding of how that goes. And even then, it seems like maybe a little bit far-fetched, but we'll see. The Royals have done the unthinkable and have started to lose to the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Brady Singer gave up a 2-run home run.
He's had some location issues from what I read.
Season's over.
Pack it in.
Season's over.
Marcelo Zuna hit a home run. Braves and Astros tied at 1 in the second.
Poll questions tell you what to watch on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone. There's no better thing than to help others in their time of need. John Bishop here to invite you to be an organ and tissue donor at goodguysavelives.com. Anyone can register, regardless of age or medical condition. Donor hearts and lungs save lives. Donor tissue makes recovery from surgery easier. Next time you renew your license, check that organ and tissue donor box or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, picturing yourself moving in and calling it home, and quite another navigating the world of price negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. An agent who's a realtor can make understanding that world easier. Realtors have the expertise, access to proprietary data, and tools to help you get from imagining living somewhere to actually doing it. That's the kind of help we can provide. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Omaha Maverick baseball and softball are on fire. Baseball has won their last 3 conference series and lead the Summit League in conference wins, while Maverick softball has won 20 of their last 22 games. This weekend at Maverick Park, baseball takes on Northern Colorado, and Maverick softball plays Kansas City. Baseball Friday night is $4 Fridays when soft drinks, beer, popcorn, hot dogs, and brats are all $4. Get your tickets for baseball and softball by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tigs.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage de nouvelles langues. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
The name slipped my mind before, but I knew that there was a guy that was reportedly interested in Creighton that I saw this morning. They go in one ear and they go out the other. But On3 reported that Kobe Brea from Dayton, I'll tell you about him in a second, has heard from the following schools: grad transfer from Dayton, Kentucky, Baylor, Villanova, Creighton, Ohio State, USC, Wisconsin, and DePaul. So Kobe last year was a 50% three-point shooter on 201 attempts.
That's good.
That'd be third in the country. It is good. The year before that, he was a 37% three-point shooter, also good. And the year before that, he was a 42% three-point shooter. Once again, also good.
What happened in that one season?
The one where he shot only 37%?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tough to tell. Yeah, if Creighton has a chance at that guy, throw the kitchen sink at him.
Definitely.
50% on 200 attempts?
That's enough of a sample size.
Insane. That is insane.
Should probably be talking about that more.
Yeah. Okay. Get that guy. Yeah. Do that immediately. All right. Poll questions at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Would you rather be a bus driver or a librarian?
Most voted on poll question of the day.
My vote is easily a bus driver.
I think I'm there as well.
60% say librarian. Too scared of the road. Were the cabbies right?
Definitely.
The cabbies told us that the Ubers would take over and the cabbies would be rendered useless, and the cabbies were right. 76% agree that the cabbies were right. Which sounds like a more severe punishment? To be banned or to be banished?
Definitely banished.
I agree. 89% say banished. A few more. Does anyone need 40 cents? No.
No.
56% say no. Do you think you could fight an ostrich? No.
The audience has convinced me that no.
75% also say no. And finally, do news anchors like saying wet bun? Definitely not.
There's no way. No way.
60% say no. Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
Another night of exciting play-in tournament action in the National Basketball Association.
Hell yeah.
Eastern Conference's turn tonight on ESPN. 6 o'clock tip-off in Philly between the Heat and the Sixers. The winner is the 7 seed. The loser plays in the 8-9 game later this week. Hawks and Bulls follow that. The winner is in the 8-9 game. The loser is eliminated. NHL doubleheader on TNT, 6 o'clock start for the Maple Leafs and the Lightning, followed by the Blues and the Stars.
Look, it's Mock Pope.
Mock Pope is
He's
on the TV?
He's on the TV right behind you.
Is Mock Pope doing a car wash?
Mock Pope is on SportsCenter.
Okay. Major League Baseball going on right now. Braves Astros is on ESPN Plus. Padres Brewers is your MLB TV free game of the day. The Royals are on right now as well.
And later.
They're playing 2 today. You can listen to both of those on 1180 today. Yankees Blue Jays coming up here in a matter of minutes on MLB Network. And Guardians Red Sox, your one evening game tonight. That starts at 6 on MLB Network. College baseball, Arkansas has been on a tear at home. They host Texas Tech today at 4 o'clock on SEC Network for some reason. Netflix has the season 6 premiere of The Circle. You get the first 4 episodes today. Influencers hope to schmooze their way to $100,000. But this season, there's a twist.
Oh, I bet.
An AI bot has entered the chat.
Of course.
And finally on Hulu, the limited series premiere Under the Bridge, based on the true story in Rebecca Godfrey's book. That's right. It's a book. The author and a police officer.
And a Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
That's right. Unearth hard truths while investigating a missing teenager.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching tonight. That's the show. If you missed anything, you can find it all conveniently located on our website. Sign up for the email list while you're at it. 1620thezone.com. The crossover, it's next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Like eating out? Like saving money? Then get to Cobb's at 180th and Center, Shadow Lake Town Center, or 72nd and Jones for their daily specials. Tuesday is $3 off all burgers and sandwiches. Wednesday, buy any specialty pizza and get a one-topping 50% off. Then Thursday, all wings are $1 each when you order 10. And this just in, all Cobb's locations now offer their own delivery service. Click copspizza.com to see the menu. Cops, pizza, and so much more.
Join the stations of the Zone this spring on our road to the College World Series. Creighton baseball is back from Charles Schwab Field. Our regular season schedule takes us all the way through the Big East Tournament. Creighton baseball on 1620 The Zone and 1180 The Zone.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you.
Contact NebraskaCasa.org. Paid for by Nebraska Casa.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Say there's a lot to do this season in Nebraska's outdoors. There's always hiking in the state parks. There's bird watching. There's trout stream fishing action. There's scouting for that spring wild turkey hunting trip. And there's looking for shed deer antlers in your favorite woods. So there's no reason to be a couch potato, is there? No. Get outdoors and enjoy. Well, it's time to get all your new permits and stamps for hunting, fishing, fur harvesting in state parks. Time to check your motorboat registration for renewal. Time to make those cabin and camping reservations in the state parks if you haven't done that already. And time to go over all of your outdoor gear for spring and summer. Get more information on Nebraska's outdoor scene by going to the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. And that'll wrap it up. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The backseat. Check